All right. All right. Season among us. What is going on, everybody? Bills season, Move Gaming, Buffalo Sports and Prime in here in the chat. What's going on, guys? Get it. Week one, baby. AFC. Everyone in the AFC East is 0-1, besides the Bills, who sit 0-0. Big game, of course, week one. It's going to be a tough one, though. If the Bills do lose, it's not the end of the world. I know a lot of people are going to use this as a playoff preview, but and think of it like a modern day college game where two top 10 teams going at it. If you lose, you're still probably making the playoff no matter what. Just going to have to bounce back from it. So, expecting a fun one tonight. A little bit more pre-game to go, and then we're going to start this one off. Of course, the last opener in this old stadium, so the place is going to be buzzing. Tickets were about 170, 180 to get in at the very cheapest of that market, and of course, that only went up when you moved down to the lower bowl and into the clubs. So they're showing a little bit of a highlight reel from the old stadium, narrated by Jim Kelly. I got the Jim Kelly jersey on tonight. Switching it up a little bit. Had to go old school for the old school farewell season. I'll be wearing this one a lot. Victor, how's it going? Victor says, always a great day when you see Miami get embarrassed again. Yeah, the Colts thoroughly embarrassed the Dolphins. A lot of really good games. Again, I expected that, though. This week one slate was very solid. But Miami, they certainly look like the worst team in the division so far. And I don't know if that's going to stay. Miami does have a lot of talent on that team, but they were in disarray for a majority of the offseason. Of course, their coach is probably on the way out if they don't have a good season. Tyreek Hill had all the drama, and he was seen kind of throwing a temper tantrum on the sidelines. Tua did not look good at all. We switch over to the Patriots. I thought they looked decent. Drake May continues to show that he has some positives to him. I think he has a chance to be a good quarterback in this league. I'm not going to give him any credit just yet, but I think he does have a chance. And then, of course, the Jets looked really good today, although they did lose to the Steelers. Tom Brady, how's it going? Yeah, we'll see what the Bills do. Again, I'm 50-50 on this game. They could definitely lose this one. Yeah, the Colts did look good, though. So, again, take the good with the bad. Colts did look very good. Got our drink of the night here, going healthy. Got to go healthy for the first one of the season. The choices will probably get more and more unhealthy if the Bills lose games throughout the season. Of course, we're streaming every game, every Bills game, every Sabres game this season. So we get to listen to Jack Collinsworth and Tony Dungy, my favorite part of the night. Give me some score predictions in the chat. I know that the chat's going to be kind of, up and down throughout this entire game. We don't really stream Bills games. It's always Sabres games, but now we're doing every Bills game this year. So it's going to start off slow, I know, but give me some score predictions. Think I'm gonna stick with mine that I gave in the preview video. I'm gonna take the Bills. Got them scoring around 30 points. I think the Ravens 28-27, somewhere in there. I think it's a very close game. I think whoever scores first in this game, I think wins this game. One of those where you just kind of get ahead and it just keeps going back and forth. Teams match each other. One team scores a touchdown, the other one goes right down. One team gets a 3-and-out, the other team gets the ball right back. Two very similar teams, different teams, of course. You have the Ravens, who just thrive in the run game. Lamar Jackson, a top 2 quarterback in the league. Derrick Henry, getting a little bit older, but still an absolute behemoth of a human being. And then they did get better in the receiving game as well. DeAndre Hopkins, another guy who's getting older. Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely not playing, but they do have him as well. Patrick Ricard also out for the Ravens. The Ravens fans, they got a couple excuses if they lose. I don't want to hear it. Isaiah Likely, Patrick Ricard, two players that, combined make a big difference, but single-handedly, each of them out, not too bad for them. I think they could still win without those two guys. The Bills playing without Tre'Davious White. That leaves Dorian Strong, the rookie out of VTech. He's going to be playing opposite of Christian Benford. We got some new numbers. I actually did this, guys. Guys, can you believe this? For the first time ever, I have rosters written here on paper. I got to start doing these for the hockey games. The Bills, I really don't need it for, but I'm getting in the flow of things because we're gonna be streaming every Bills game, every Sabres game. I got to get in the momentum, the routine of doing this. So we got some new numbers for the Bills. I guess I'll just kind of say Terrell Bernard, number 8. That's one that we got to look for. Sam Franklin's going to be in 42. We'll see a little bit of him in special teams and potentially at the safety position as well. See what everyone's saying in the chat. Predict the Bills win on a late Prater field goal from 50 plus, 41-year-old. Yeah, Matt Prater, the kickers did not look good this week. Of course, it's week 1. We see that a lot. But Matt Prater, a guy who, if he has a good game, he could certainly end up on another roster by next week because he is on the practice squad. And I'm sure he'd rather go be somebody's kicker for the whole year instead of the Bills kicker for the first 4 weeks. And then Tyler Bass comes back and wants his job back. At 23-20 Ravens from Tom Brady. Move game in, feeling like the Ravens are going to be a little bit more ready as well. Yeah, we'll see what happens in this game. We still got about 20 minutes until kickoff. Have to see everyone's plan for the rest of the season. Is anyone thinking of attending games this year? I know a lot of people want to go at least one more time to that old stadium. So let me know if there's a game on this Bills schedule. Which one are you guys eyeing up? See what else we got here. What's the status on Bass right now? Yeah, Tyler Bass on the IR for a groin injury. We don't know exactly what's wrong with him. It was a lingering injury in camp. He came back for that last preseason game, looked good, then missed the 20-something yard field goal at the end of it. Apparently that field goal re-aggravated something in that groin or in that leg, and now he is on the IR. Again, I'm not the biggest Tyler Bass fan. I'm sure you guys know that if you guys have been here a while on this channel. So him not being in here and swapped out with a 41-year-old Matt Prater, it's got me a little nervous, but not too much more nervous than I would be if Tyler Bass was kicking, because we've seen what he does in the clutch. And other than that Miami Dolphins game, it's usually not good. So Tyler Bass, we'll keep an eye on that. If the Bills get in these 4th and short around midfield scenarios, I'm sure we'll see a lot more aggression than usual, though. Matt Prater, a guy who probably didn't expect to be kicking this week up until a few days ago. So as good of a kicker as he once was, I don't think you could rely on him as much as you would have been able to rely on Tyler Bass this game. Sounds like Prater's here for a little while. Yeah, he's going to be here at least 4 weeks. And that is if he doesn't take a starting job somewhere else. Because, again, he's on the practice squad. The Bills elevated him. Now, the Bills can protect him and keep him on the practice squad. But a good franchise like the Bills that, kind of set players up for good things in the future. There's a good culture here. If Matt Prater gets a job opportunity from, say, the Cleveland Browns, who their rookie kicker completely destroyed them today, I think they're going to let him go sign with them and have himself a full year contract with big time money instead of signing these deals on the practice squad and getting called up. But if Matt Prater plays terribly today, I think he will be more than happy to stay in Buffalo for the next 4 weeks and make starter money, at least until Bass gets back. And we don't know if Tyler Bass is going to be back after the 4 weeks. That's just the minimum. But that is good news. One of our biggest injuries is our kicker. So we are not starting too bad in the injury front. Let's talk about Tre'Davious White. Again, like I mentioned, Dorian Strong is going to have to be stepping up. Some other cornerbacks. Jordan Hancock not playing, unfortunately, so we won't see much of him in the first couple of weeks. Jamarcus Ingram, we saw him in Hard Knocks. Of course, we know the story, UB product. Hopefully he has a good game if he sees the field. Cam Lewis, a special teamer. Aaron Johnson, the slot cornerback, we know he's going to be an X factor all season long for this Bills defense. But of course, Dorian Strong, and that's all you got really, and unless you count Codrington. And Brandon Codrington has really only played the cornerback position when absolutely needed, when either we have so many injuries or it's a 50-point blowout, and he's just out there to make sure no one of importance gets hurt. But he is our return guy too. See what else everyone's saying. Yeah, watch the Browns game. They should have won that game. Cincinnati wasn't inspiring. They weren't. Everyone's hyping up Cincinnati's offense, and they did not look all that special against a Cleveland Browns defense that's probably run-of-the-mill. Myles Garrett, of course, was a huge distributor in that game, though. Yeah, Cedric Van Pran Granger, one of the inactives for the Bills. Unfortunate. I'm sure we'll see some of him later on in the year when they swap out the last offensive lineman for the first guy up. Like no Chase Lunt either. So both of those guys not playing on that offensive line. And early season Bengals back at it. Hey, at least they won. That's rare. Usually the Bengals start out 0-1, especially under Zach Taylor. While we're talking about kickers, though, let's talk about the Ravens kicking situation. Tyler Loop makes his Ravens regular season debut. Justin Tucker on the suspended list, and he was cut from the team. We'll see if he gets re-signed to the Ravens or goes back to the league after he serves that suspension in the middle of the season, or if he's going to be sitting out this year. We don't know for sure. Tyler Loop, though, a huge audition for him. It all starts tonight in Buffalo. We'll see if that affects some of Harbaugh's decisions. When the Ravens did have Tucker, it was pretty much just get to midfield and you could boot that thing 70 yards. Now with Tyler Loop, maybe not so certain, although Tyler Loop does have a good leg as well. So if he could get that accuracy down and win over the trust of that coaching staff, I think we might have a similar situation in Baltimore that we've had in years prior. Mark Andrews needs to have a big game for the Ravens. The last time he was on the field in a meaningful game, I should say, was that playoff game against Buffalo last year. Mark Andrews, couple of crucial mistakes, the fumble at midfield, that drop 2-point conversion, especially with no Isaiah Likely today. Mark Andrews has to have a banger game, and Ravens fans are all over him if he doesn't. So make or break game for Marky. Falcons missed a field goal with 6 seconds left. Take the game to overtime. Young-Ho Koo makes those clutch kicks. Yeah, I couldn't believe he missed that one, but he had that one really good year a couple seasons ago in fantasy, and he was everyone's favorite kicker, Young-Ho Koo. Since then, he really hasn't been a good kicker. He's missed a lot of clutch field goals. So I don't know if he's in his head, but I was watching that game live, and I saw him walking up there, and then they iced him, and I almost knew that he was going to miss it. So I predicted it, and it came true, unfortunately, for him. Let me know if anyone watched Red Zone today, what you guys thought of the commercials on Red Zone. I didn't think it was that big of a deal at all. Again, maybe like a minute and a half of commercials throughout the whole thing. I know it was supposed to be this big, significant development that Red Zone had commercials now, and it was no longer commercial free. I didn't really notice a big difference. But again, paying for it, you kind of did pay for it, expecting no commercials. So I get it why people are upset, of course. So we're about 15 minutes away from kick. Andre Reed is the legend of the game, so we'll see him out there hyping up this Bills crowd. Baltimore is not far away from Buffalo. I'm sure we will see a nice spread of fans here and there. Baltimore fans will see some purple, but a majority Bills crowd, of course. It's a home game, and they will make a big impact in this one. The Mets loss sucked today, but we saw the rookie. Yeah, Sprout looked good. I'm not going to get too concerned about the Mets with these rookies making their first, second, third starts. As long as the Mets make the playoffs, then we'll go from there. And again, the game plan is going to be a lot different in the playoffs than it is right now. You can tell the big stars on the Mets are kind of coasting, kind of sending it in. And once we get to the playoffs, it's going to be steal every chance you get, and it'll be a different style. Yeah, I agree though. Like once you introduce commercials, though, it could get a lot worse. So hopefully that's as far as they go with the commercials, and I won't mind. But we'll see a lot of commercials tonight. Of course, Sunday Night Football, mainstream. Anything is better than a TNT basketball game, though. Glad NBC is picking up the rights to the NBA just for that alone. The TNT was brutal with commercials. Their coverage was really good, though. Let me know in the chat right now who's everyone's favorite Bills player on the roster right now. I'll say other than Josh Allen because I know we're going to get some Josh Allens in the chat. So spam right now. Who are your favorite players on the Bills roster besides Josh Allen? If I had to pick, I would probably say Milano is up there. He's just always solid. I would probably say D Doc, of course, Deion Dawkins, one of my favorite guys to watch out there. Always celebrating, having a good time. Great guy on and off the field. Shakir is up there for me as well. Just a very reliable guy. Doesn't like to show off too much. So NBC has 7 panelists saying the Ravens, 2 saying the Bills, but 52% of America is picking the Bills. Pretty good split. Yeah, Slay's probably my second favorite player on the team besides Buffalo Joe Andreessen. Yeah, Shakir. Shakir's just a reliable guy, so hopefully he doesn't let me down saying that. But yeah, he's somebody that reminds me like a Cole Beasley. When you need him, he's there. How will this game affect LeBron's legacy? Honorary JD Andrews. Yeah. Yeah, JD also banger player coming up. Him and Jimmy Charlo. I grew up, the NBA was on a CBS forever, then went to NBC in the 90s. Yeah, good to see it return to NBC. We'll see how the production is, but again, sports come and go on different networks, and it's always refreshing when they switch it up a little bit. So I'm sure I'll be begging for them to go back to TNT soon too. But thought I saw a Buffalo Joe jersey out there in the wild yesterday, but it was Scatabo. Giants jersey. Going back to that comment though, how will this game affect LeBron's legacy? LeBron's a big Mark Andrews fan, but he also loves Dawson Knox. So I think he's pretty split in this one. Of course, there's that video of him wishing happy tight ends day to all the tight ends in the league. He's just, listing them off, and then he's listing off like the top 3, Mark Andrews, Kelsey, Kittle. Then he just goes Dawson Knox, stud. Of course, Dawson Knox. Not necessarily the same player Kelsey is, but, you know. opinions on the Chiefs. The Chiefs look not very good at all against the Chargers, but I feel like I'd be a fool to say they are not the same team. I think we got to give them a couple more weeks before we write them off because they still got a little bit of that voodoo magic in Kansas City, and I think somehow we avoided it on Friday night. Maybe it was leaving the United States and going to Brazil, and Kansas City was not the same team that they once were. But right now, I think it is good for the Bills to see Kansas City lose because if you lose tonight, you're still tied for first in your division and you're still tied with Kansas City. We know the Ravens are coming after that one seed as well, though. So this would be a huge game to at least get the tiebreaker and get above the Ravens. So we're approaching game time. Again, we've been waiting all day, waiting all season, all off season for this game. Had to get through 3 weeks of college football, week 0, 1, and 2, and every single game besides one of the NFL to see the Bills finally play. But here we are, a matter of moments away. Worthy has a dislocated shoulder, and another wide receiver hurt a leg. Yeah, policy taken out. I mean, what do we think of that? Do you think that's him sticking up for himself? T Swift saying she was a big fan of his, and all of a sudden, first the drive of the game, he takes out his shoulder. Looked like a dirty play to me. I don't know. Chiefs always look so beatable, and you can't get past them. Again, it's all coaching, right? Doesn't matter who you give Mahomes to work with. He's got Andy Reid coming up, getting guys open for him. And we see consistently in the playoffs, Andy Reid outcoach other coaches, including our guy, Sean McDermott. Eventually, you'd think somebody would figure him out, but he just continues to impress in the playoffs. And the Eagles just had too much talent in that Super Bowl to give the Chiefs any chance. But, you know, eventually the Chiefs were going to get blown out last year. We saw just game after game after game, just miracle after miracle after miracle, letting them back in. So good to see them finally lose. But again, you need those rivals, right? Again, I'm not going to hate on the Ravens. I'm not going to hate on the Chiefs. Without them, would you guys rather play like the Giants every week and just, oh, we won again by 40, we won again by 40, then we get to the playoffs and just lose? You got to have those rivals. They make the regular season fun. So we're listening right now. Carrie Underwood singing the song, first time of the year for that Sunday Night Football. Kelsey killed 3 parlays in one play. Yeah. Injuring a whole lot of players. Yeah, Slade will earn moderator maybe eventually. Arnold, how's it going? KC game against the Eagles next week will be fun. Yeah, that's probably going to be game of the week. All right. Players on the field. Light show going. Halftime drone show tonight. The reigning MVP, as Mike Tirico says, Josh Allen against Lamar Jackson, the 2-time NFL MVP. Check that one off the bingo card if you're playing along. Again, shout out Buffalo Rumblings. They put out those bingo cards every single week. Those are always fun to play along with. Mike Tirico, and oh man, bless the ears, Chris Collinsworth in the booth as well. My all-time favorite analyst. Ooh, electrifying players. Not as good as Patrick Mahomes, but pretty good. Yeah, he's having the time of his life up there with Tirico. And Mike Tirico, again, kind of talking about Collinsworth, but Mike Tirico, very talented, doing the Olympics again, coming up soon as well. So a very, very good announcer, very versatile, can do anything. Meanwhile, Chris Collinsworth can only talk about football, and he gives us some funny moments, so we can't hate at him too much. Again, some of the people that you don't like, you got to respect because they give you things to talk about. Sabeskis, I see the chat from across the room. I already know you're saying go Sabres. Go Sabres. We're getting close. I'm nervously looking at that calendar and seeing those dates roll by. We're about 13 to 15 days away from the first preseason game. And I look at my Google calendar and I swipe 1 month over and I see all the yellow dots, SaberStream, 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 SaberStream. We're gonna have a good season. Live every night that the Sabres play on this channel. Prediction for the score, I'll say 30 to 28 Buffalo. I'll finalize that one. And I don't know. I said something similar to that in the preview video. I'm going to stick with that. The panel was split 2-2 this week. Shout out BSC panel. Again, the non-biased BSC panel. Of course, we're not going to just do the homer picks. But I truly believe in the Bills this game. I think it's going to be close. I don't necessarily love that Josh Allen has not played yet in the preseason. We saw last year he didn't play last year or didn't play much, and he came out against the Cardinals. Didn't start off too hot, and the defense really looked bad against the Cardinals last season, week 1. Luckily, the Bills are able to figure it out just at the end of that game, but it did take a while. Had Worthy in fantasy. Dave Skis went to see 9 Inch Nails in Cleveland. Got pit tickets, covered in bruises. Well, not for everyone, but hope you enjoyed that. I always joke that Collinsworth bets on these games. You can tell if he's winning or losing based on his dialogue. Yeah, he's always rooting for a good game, but yeah, there's certainly some questionable things that have come out of his mouth over the years. First drink of the day, all done. Getting going here. 3 minutes away. We'll see who's starting off. Again, I should be synced up with you guys. I got an antenna for these Bills games, so I'm getting the feed right away. We're no longer doing the Spectrum TV nonsense with these games, so we should be right on cue with you guys watching at home. No one's gonna have to pause if you guys are watching along. Sabres streams haven't figured out how we're gonna get ahead of that yet. I'll probably just use the cable box, so we'll be pretty synced up with those as well. We're finally getting back to action here. Yeah, no save skis. We're going with the Ollie Pop. Got I don't think YouTube would be too happy if I was drinking brewskis during the stream. Although, if the Bills, like I said earlier in the stream, if the Bills decide to start off 0-2, 0-3, we might be seeing some paper bags over the drink in week 4 or 5. But I don't think they're going to do that. Again, the Bills have a very easy schedule after this Ravens game until week 7. So we got our intro video, and we got the Manning brothers sitting on the couch. I don't know what this has to do with this game. Peyton's hyping it up. Speaking of the Mannings, Arch Manning got his get back, got a win for Texas over San Jose State, a team that is not very good this year. They looked terrible in week 1 and, of course, got blown out by Texas in week 2, but everyone expected that. Yeah, Don, maybe during the podcast, if we lose, we can do some celebratory. Used to be on YouTube back in 2010 when there was a 40-ounce crew. We would drink a 40-ounce in the 10-minute limit. Whew. Clash of Clans? I haven't had Clash of Clans installed in about a year. In a while, you got to get back into Clash of Clans, though. Probably not during football season, but maybe during the off season. All right, so this little intro video showing Peyton Manning with his kid and saying, oh, he doesn't want to watch the old school games. He wants to watch Lamar versus Allen. Again, I think the Manning brothers do a really good job on the Manning cast, ESPN, Monday Night Football. If the Bills are playing, I don't watch that feed, but if it's anyone else, I usually do watch that feed. They're pretty good. They have a lot of dry humor. They are hilariously awkward with the guests too. They make them pretty uncomfortable during the whole thing, and there is a little bit of delay with their mics. I don't think they've figured it out yet. So a lot of the time, it's somebody talking and Peyton going, "Hang on, hang on, stay right here. We'll be back." And Eli's, throwing in the the super dry jokes. A good duo though. Always good for 1 to 2, good laughs on the night, which is better than what you get listening to Joe Buck and Troy Aikman on ESPN. So we got an on-field interview with Josh Allen, 106 consecutive regular season start. Allen, full beard, full mustache, got the beard going. Allen says this game's the most important one because it is the next one. Nothing more, nothing less. Shout out JJP. But JJP might have to change the name because JJ Paterka traded. Okay, there we go. Here, Andre Reed doing the hey stuff. Bills put out a video where all their rookies had to finish the sentence, and they said, Bills make me want to blank. They're supposed to say shout. Nobody knew what they were talking about. Or else would you rather be than right here, blank? Nobody knew. So I don't know where they were in the preseason. But this crowd's fired up. Andre Reed's fired up. The modern era of Billy Buffalo is fired up. And the Bills will get the ball first. Tyler Loop, again, the 6th-round pick out of Arizona. First kicker drafted in team history. We'll see his first kickoff. Codrington back with Ty Johnson. Allen is one rushing touchdown away from passing Thurman Thomas in all-time rushing touchdowns. Sure is. One away. Here we go. The Bills are going to return it. Codrington gets it. Takes it to the 20. He's got a hold all the way to the 30. There he goes to the 40. All the way to midfield and out of bounds. What a start to the season. Brendan Codrington. Oh, 180 games played. Yeah, no. Jan Dawkins said Yerdy Snow University in his player intro. Love to see it. The Bills right on the 50-yard line to get this season underway. James Cook in the backfield, the money man, James Cook. Allen's going to throw, though. Finds a wide open tight end. That is Dawson Knox. 9-yard pickup. Actually, an 8-yard pickup, so we will have a 2nd and 2. Good first play from the Bills. Just quick throw, get Knox into it, a guy who had a down year last season. Both tight ends had disappointing years. Yeah, 108 games is NHL level stuff. Second and 2 for the Bills. This one's going to be a handoff to Cook. Cook tries to find a hole and falls forward for the first down. Let's wait. Got to hear the cha-ching. There it is. First one of the season. The stadium ching noise. Slate will be on stream sometime this season. We'll have to get them on. A must. It is a must. Again, donations are open. If you guys become members, we also will unlock a new emoji. Just one member away from that. 1st and 10, Shavers in motion. The Ravens are sending a blitz. Allen's going to keep it. He holds it up the middle and gets around 2 yards before being tackled. Most importantly, doesn't seem banged up at all on the play. So 2nd and 8 coming up for the Bills. Didn't necessarily love the play call there. They saw the blitz was coming and kept the run. Ski played hockey in the 90s, missed the cutoff by wearing a helmet by a day. Whew. And they got the visor type situation in the NHL now. Very few guys still left that don't have to wear the visor. 2nd and 7. Allen, quick rollout, looks for someone. He's got Cook open, but he's going to throw it over the middle, and it is almost picked off. Incomplete, though. Ooh. Malachi Starks almost picked that one off. A bad decision by Allen. He had Cook open out wide, decided to go down the field and overthrew Shavers and Shakir. And Malachi Starks, yeah, right off the hand of Shakir, an overthrown ball, almost picked off by Malachi Starks. That would have been a heck of a start for the safety out of Georgia. But now the Bills have a 3rd and 7. Oh! And the Ravens, somebody jumped into the neutral zone, but it didn't look like he crossed the line. We'll have to see. They are going to call it offsides, though. John Hussey, the referee, his 11th season. So neutral zone infraction. Good job by Spencer Brown to react. Madubuike, number 92 for the Ravens. Great job by Spencer Brown to pick that up. And now it'll be a 3rd and short instead of a 3rd and 7. Got to go bucketless, yeah. Imagine football with no helmets. That would be something. Yellow peak zone bubble. They're going to Ty Johnson out wide. He's got the 1st down and more all the way to 20, all the way to the 15 and out of bounds. Ty Johnson. I say it on this channel, and I'll continue to say it every time Ty Johnson touches the ball. It is a big-time play. One of my favorite players on the team. He is just a lightning bolt. Every time a play is designed to Ty Johnson, it is just get the ball and go. No one more direct on the team than Ty Johnson. So far, so good. The Bills got to finish this drive out with a touchdown, though. Ray Davis in the backfield for the first time. Ty Johnson out wide as well. He's in motion. 1st and 10 from the 14. Another peak zone the other way. This time, Allen's going to do a little screenplay to Ray Davis. That one is going to go nowhere. Tackled for a loss of 1. So the Bills continue to struggle in the screen game, something they've struggled with for a long, long time, unfortunately. 2nd and 11 coming up. First real miss for the Bills. A little too cute. I would have probably just ran it outside. Yeah, nothing was really open on that play. The Ravens had an extra guy. Bills didn't have anyone to really block there. I don't understand the play. Don't understand the design. But 2nd and 11 for the Bills at the 15. Allen gets it. He's got time to throw. Goes end zone. Touchdown! Dalton Kincaid. Welcome to the 2025 NFL season. 7 plays, 50 yards. The Bills make it look easy. 6-0. 7-0 pending the extra point. Woo! Welcome to football season. Dalton Kincaid, look at that. Just a little slanter over the middle. Hamilton lost them. And Allen fitted into a narrow window. Definitely the best 3 running back combo. The MVP chants are going Matt Prater's first extra point as a Bill right down the middle. And the Bills go up 7-0 with 11:19 to go here in the first. Whew, what a seed from Josh Allen to Kincaid there. Allen all smiles as we head to commercial break. So commercial break, let's get back to the chat, though. You bring up the 3 running back combo, and let's talk about that for a second. James Cook, a guy who is just ultra talented in the pass game and the run game. Paid him a lot of money, but I think it's going to be worth it in the long run. The only reason I was semi against signing him in the first place to this deal was the fact that we do have the other 2 running backs, right? Ray Davis, who didn't have a good preseason, didn't have, has -1 yard today off that bad screen design play. But he's usually pretty solid. Last season, he was, when called upon, he was like a bowling ball back there. Just hand him the ball. He goes right up the middle for like 4 or 5 yards. All 3 running backs averaged really good numbers per carry last season. And then Ty Johnson. I can't say enough good things about Ty Johnson. We know the play was against the Chiefs last year, right along the sideline as Allen tiptoed the sideline, kept it in bounds. Ty Johnson almost dropped it, but didn't. What a start, tone setting. Absolutely, Don. I was 10, went to visit my brother at Boston College when they were good. I remember seeing the generations. 1910 was the dude with no helmet and a grin on his face. It's like the coolest dude ever. Yeah. Boston College had a banger game against Michigan State this week. Michigan State ended up winning that one. CC Storm, how's it going? Vikings fan here, going for the Bills. Never liked the Ravens. Thank you for joining, CC Storm. I think a lot of Bills fans respect the Vikings. I have nothing against the Vikings. I put the Vikings logo, I think, in the top category during my logo tier list video that came out a month or two ago. So always rooting for the Vikings when they're not playing the Bills. Of course, we remember that miserable game against the Vikings when Jay Jettis had the one-handed catch over Cam Lewis and three other Bills players, and then the fumble in the end zone. Let's not get into it. Coming back from commercial break, though. Minnesota is cold and snowy. Yep, just like Buffalo. Pretty similar markets, good football markets, good hockey markets. Again, if you guys are new here, though, hit the like button, subscribe. Consider becoming a channel member or donating as well. We're one member away from getting that new emoji. I know the members in here are really going to be excited if we hit that they will get a new emoji that we can vote for. And Victor, bang, big donation in the chat, $5. W Victor in the chat. W Victor in the chat says, I love Bills touchdowns. I do too, Victor. We love to see it. Spam the W's in the chat. Go, Victor. Bills crowd is going crazy right now. Prater, first kickoff as a Bill. Let's see a little bit of a short kick. Caught at the 10. And smothered at the 31. And that's where he'll be brought down. Solomon and Gilliam on the tackle. Thank you, Victor, though. Again, you guys just being here, leaving a like, means the world to me. Thank you guys for spending your time over with this stream. Again, we're going to be doing every Bills game, every Sabres game. This year, we're really pounding the table with the hammer. We're making sure that we're pumping out content this year. So I appreciate the support and the donations, of course. Thank you guys so much. 1st and 10 for this Ravens offense. So they're doing some quick momentum. Derrick Henry up the middle. That's going to be about a 5-yard carry. Right up the middle. Tackled by Greg Rousseau. Other than Derrick Henry, the Ravens also have Justice Hill, Keaton Mitchell, and Rasheen Ali at running back. So they got 4 guys that could be in that backfield tonight. Second play is going to be a Henry run up the middle. That one only goes 2 yards. Nice tackle by Greg Rousseau again. So 3rd down, we'll hear the train horn in a matter of moments. Yeah, no cheese heads. We might have the chicken wing heads, but no cheese heads. Shout out to the Packers, though. They did look good today. I didn't expect them to win that game. Yeah, Sabeskis, don't worry about it, man. Thank you for being here. 3rd and 3. Crowd is going crazy. Joey Bosa out there, again, his debut game as a Buffalo Bill. Pass rush. Nobody gets to him. Justice Hill makes the catch. Big hit along the sideline. I think he got the first down by about a half yard. Let's see where they spot him. Oh. Just got it by the nose of the football. First down, Ravens at the 41. Christian Benford, they said a little slow to get up, but I see with my own eyes here, he looks fine. But a big hit there, and oh, just got it. Yeah, just got the first down. Good tackle, though. 1st and 10. Ravens haven't aired it out too far yet. 2 run plays and a quick play. Bills bring a little pressure over the middle. It's going to be caught by Mark Andrews for a 5-yard completion. So very smart for the Ravens, getting Mark Andrews in the game early with a nice, easy completion. Of course, no matter what he says, that game from last year is going to be in his head until he makes a big play tonight. Smart by Harbaugh and the coaching staff there. 2nd and 5, we got the I formation. Going to be a handoff to Derrick Henry, and he goes down after a 2 to 3 yard carry. Good group tackle. Benford in on the tackle. Is that a New Jersey? Nope, it is. So I don't know if I've worn it during a stream, but it's just a retro Jim Kelly jersey. We've had this one for quite a while. I can see if I can spin around real quick, kind of see. But yeah, we'll be wearing that one a lot this year just because it is the farewell season to the old stadium. So I figured I'd start it off with a retro jersey. 3rd and 3 from around midfield. Lamar Jackson, Justice Hill in motion right next to him. And it's going to be a read option. Lamar, he's got the first down and more. Smart play there, and he's tackled at the 40-yard line in Bills territory. TJ Sanders, the rookie DT, with the tackle. Yeah, Packers look nice today. First and 10 from the 41 in Bills territory. Lamar fakes it to Henry. Now he's looking, finds Henry for a 5-yard gain. He's going to be past the first down mark and a little more. Dorian Williams and Taylor Rapp on the tackle. So the Ravens offense starting to find its groove a little bit, marching slowly, methodically down the field. Gabby Oates, how's it going? Good seeing you in here again. I know you're a hockey fan. You're in here for a lot of the hockey streams. But thank you. Hopefully the season does go well again, streaming every game. So it should be a fun one. Prime, how's it going? Bill's no problem. Saves he's NHL vids. Check him out after the stream. Justice Hill with a carry on 1st and 10. That one goes for about a yard or two. Ed Oliver, Daquan Jones, and on the tackle. And the ball came out at the end of it. Bosa ended up with the ball, but they said he was down. Not too much of a celebration from anyone, so we're assuming he was down all day. But Joey Bosa ended up with the ball. So first time we've noticed him all game. 5-time Pro Bowler. 2016 Defensive Rookie of the Year. DC says hopefully the Wild are good this year. They should be. Definitely better than the Sabres. 2nd and 8. Ravens. Lamar looks to throw. Bills bring pressure. The pocket's collapsing, and down goes Lamar. There is a flag, though, in the secondary. Greg Rousseau on the 2-yard sack, but there is a flag in the secondary. It came out late. And Bernard does not look all too happy, so probably a hold in the secondary. Let's see what Hussey has to say. Holding defense. That one going to be on Dorian Strong, the rookie, the new number 43. Looks like he got a little handsy with Zay Flowers. Let's take a look at the replay. Yeah. Ripped his shoulder a little bit and the mouth guard came off. So the evidence was on the field there. That makes it a 1st and 10. Negates the sack. Four seconds on the play clock. The Ravens have to move quick here. They just get the snap off. Bills under a ton of pressure again. Lamar has to scramble out. TJ Sanders chasing him down, and Lamar has to throw the ball all the way in the end zone. Incomplete. Good job from the Bills there to get enough pressure on Lamar. Again, a non-mobile quarterback probably gets sacked there, but Lamar able to escape the slower TJ Sanders and Solomon. Walker in on that play as well. Absolute monster D tackle. Sanders almost got to him. On Solomon, a good job to keep his hands up and force Lamar to overthrow Zay Flowers in the end zone. I probably will end up calling Zay Flowers Zay Jones this game, just a heads up. 2nd and 10 now. Zay Flowers in motion. Going to be a wide out to him, and good blocking. Milano missed the tackle, and Cole Bishop makes a clutch tackle. So short of the first down by 2 yards. We'll have a 3rd and 2. See if this Bills defense can get a hold. Train horn blaring in the background. Good to be back. Good to be back. Yeah, definitely good seeing Bosa out there. Oh, save skis, I know. But if anyone wants to see those videos, check them out. Oh boy, now we got pre-snap motion from someone. I don't know if somebody jumped. Nope, they're going to call the false start. So good job by the Bills defense to cause it to jump. That penalty on Rosengarten, second year guy. Third and 8 now from the 20. Dave Flowers in motion. Justice Hill the back, which means they're definitely throwing the ball. Lamar looks back. Bills don't send any pressure. Pockets collapsing. Ed Oliver gets a hand on him. And down he goes at the 37-yard line. Ed Oliver. Big time sack. That pushes them almost outside field goal range. And Tyler Loop might have to make his first field goal attempt from way downtown. Little look at the replay here. Ed Oliver just a nice swim move, pushed the offensive tackle right into Lamar, and then was able to make a shoestring tackle on Lamar after Lamar had a little stiff arm on his face mask. And they're going to try the field goal. Not a whole lot of wind in Buffalo tonight. Chilly day, though. 52-yarder. Tyler Loop right on the middle. No left to right. The kick is up. It's hooking back left, and it is good. Wow. Big time first field goal for the young kid. 6th-round draft pick. But a huge sack from Ed Oliver to prevent the touchdown. So the Bills won the first series of downs 7-3 as we head to commercial break. Sabesky says if I needed to pick a team to win the cup that's not Buffalo, he would pick the Wild. I don't mind that pick. I don't mind the Wild. Oh yeah, MTV Awards are on like every channel imaginable tonight, and then NBC has the football game, and I think they're hoping if anyone doesn't like football, maybe they like music, and they'll tune into that. But I know ESPN took a night off from Sunday Night Baseball because of the game tonight, Week 1, big matchup. Crazy to see somebody who kind of was brought up through the drought. The Bills being a marquee matchup for Week 1. And this has been a consistent thing. Of course, they had the opener against the Rams a few years ago. It's just a continuous pattern. Now the Bills continue to be in the spotlight, and that's pretty much because of Josh Allen. Again, if you guys are new here, leave a like. It helps us out a ton. Let's get some more likes on this. Also subscribe if you guys are new. We are up to 3,079 subs. We hit 3,000 subs during the last preseason game. So from that game to this game, we've gained 79 subs. Thank you guys. Let's get one more by halftime to at least get to 3,080. Got 23 people in here now as well. Thank you guys for joining. Yeah, MTV is certainly not a draw like it once was. A little bit before my time. But we are at commercial break. The Bills, they look very good in their first drive. We'll see if they can duplicate that in their second one. Yep, 11 likes right now. Let's get that number up. That was a good drive from the Ravens as well. They had a couple third downs that they were able to convert. And then that sack really threw them off. And Lamar's talking to Zay Flowers right now, probably talking about that one where he missed him in the end zone. 3:38 as we approach kickoff here. Loop kicks it off. It's going to be a bouncer. That one's picked up by Ty Johnson. He's trying to find a hole, and he getting pushed. And look at that, barrels his way all the way to 35. Was wrapped up at the 25. Got a little bit of a push, put his head down, and picked up an extra 10 yards on that return. Heck of a play from Ty Johnson, who picked up a really hard bouncer. That's going to be something that we see all season long. This new kickoff rule implemented with the new touchback mark. They moved it up another 5 yards. All these teams want to prevent touchbacks, so every ball is going to be somewhat returnable. 1st and 10 from the 35. Cook in the backfield. Allen takes it. He's going to hand it off up the middle. Cook with some daylight. He gets all the way to the 44-yard line. It's going to be a 2nd and 1. Good stuff from James Cook. And there we go. Josh Allen and Haley Steinfeld. They're showing the wedding photos. Check that one off the bingo card as well. Knew this was coming at some time during the broadcast. Three minutes to go in the first. And New Year's Eve. They hand it off to Cook again, and that one goes nowhere. It's going to be a gain of nothing, so it's going to be a 3rd and 1 now. And this is something the Bills continue to do year in and year out, whether it's Ken Dorsey or Joe Brady. 2nd and 1, 2nd and 2. They hand it off up the middle. It doesn't go anywhere. This time they hand it off again to Cook, and it goes nowhere again. And now the Bills are going to have to punt. So on a 2nd and 1, they run the same exact play 2 times in a row. Again, you got the best quarterback in the league, and we're 2nd and 1. We continue to just hand it off up the middle. Happy Cook is a dangerous Cook. Cook will certainly not be happy after those 2 plays. 4th and 3. Bills are going to punt it. Brad Robbins. That's a good-looking punt. It's going to bounce, and and hit a Raven. And Sam Franklin picks it up. He goes to the end zone. Okay, they're going to say he can't advance it, but who did it hit first? It bounced down. I don't know if it hit a Raven or a Bill. If it hit the Raven, it is picked up at around the 10-yard line. A good play by Franklin to pick that ball up. Let's see. Webster is looking at it. I think that hit the Bill. Yeah, so it's going to be Ravens ball. Yeah, definitely touched by Buffalo, so. All right, so the Ravens pinned back deep in their own end, though. A good punt from Brad Robbins. Somebody we'll be keeping our eye on all season long. They keep showing this Tennessee Titans Music City Miracle thing. DraftKings play. Now, when they recreate it, though, they should be throwing it forward, you know? They're making it look a little bit better than it was, a little more authentic. Oh, so it got faked out there. We thought we had a big play from the newly acquired Sam Franklin. Instead, just a routine touch-up on the punt. We have another commercial break. And that's just a disappointing drive by the Bills. 3 straight run plays. The first one goes for 9 yards. You should know after the 2nd and 1 that they're guessing run. You line up in the same formation. You do the same exact play. It gets blown up again. It's decisions like these that really let you down at the end of the year. And we see over and over and over. We saw in that Chiefs game last year, they did stuff like this. Again, everyone wants to talk about Allen being, a millimeter short, but right before that play, they did a run that went absolutely nowhere. That they just continue to use the wrong personnel on these plays. James Cook is not a guy who you're going to barrel up the middle to get a yard. That's not the guy for the job. Back-to-back times they try to do it. And we're early on in the season, but that's just not a good look. Yeah, luckily for me, I did not see the No Go live, did not see the City Miracle live a little bit before my time. So I missed out on a majority of the early heartbreak and just saw a bunch of the drought from both teams and have witnessed all of the recent heartbreak with the Bills. It's been more fun than the drought, though. Up to 14 likes. Thank you guys. Man, that is. Oof. Bills need to stop here. You cannot let the Ravens go right down and score again. And we have hit 3,080 subs. Let's go. We're 20 away from 3,100. Big time numbers. Eight years old during that. Oof. Yeah, I cannot consciously remember a Sabres game that meant a whole lot. So that's pretty sad too. The ball at the 15. Lamar hands it off to Derrick Henry up the middle, and he gets free. That's going to be a first down, an 11-yard carry. Benford eventually got him down. But now this dynamic Ravens offense can kind of do what they want. Only down by 4 at 2 a.m. Yeah, hopefully that doesn't come back to bite us. But that's just, again, you got the pass game working, you got the over the middle game going, and you just take that away. I don't know, game plan. It looks like their second drive is just penciled in, run, 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 and I don't like predetermined drives. Play fake, Lamar in the pocket, looking downfield. The throw wide open. Zay Flowers. Oh, and he drops the ball, but he picks it right back up at the 45. Big time gain for the Ravens. Yeah, it's crazy. 35 and yeah. Okay, so they're saying Lamar Jackson has a cut on his hand after stiff arming Ed Oliver on that sack from their previous drive, but they said he put a bandage on and he's fine. 20 seconds go in the first. Handoff up the middle for Henry, and that one, good defense, good tackle. That's Bernard. Big time tackle. That will wind out the first quarter. Ravens around midfield. They'll have a 2nd and 8 when we come back in the second quarter. Flowers makes it. Yeah, Flowers is he's a slippery receiver. You got to keep an eye on him. He's quick. He can kind of hide in zones and then get open downfield really, really quickly too. And Lamar Jackson, we know, can extend plays running away from defensive linemen. So if you can't get Lamar Jackson down, more than likely Zay Flowers is going to be wide open somewhere downfield. You got to make it uncomfortable for Lamar at least. So those throws end up as overthrows or underthrows, like we saw in that last drive when he overthrew Zay Flowers in the end zone. He was open, but too much pressure to get it to him. 2006 was so fun. Crowd surfing in the plaza. Maybe one day we'll get back to playoffs in Buffalo on the hockey end of things, but team they have this year does not look. They don't look all that competitive. Although with that being said, I think there's a little bit of hope for this team because it is different than what they've had in years prior. It's a different system, a different group of guys, and it seems like they've really bought into that gritty play style. Which again, when they went half into it last year, I knew it was a mistake. You had to either go all out or you had to just go all in on goal scorers, and they kind of went half and half last year, and we saw what that did. So now they got a group of guys that kind of can play together. We are in commercial break. Big drive for the Ravens. If they could get any points here, we'll be right back in a close game. Yeah, 5.2 under the cap. They probably won't spend any of that. Better defense for sure, though. Can I have more hope this year than last year. Last year I didn't have any hope for the Sabres. This year, at least, there's something to really root for. But if I had to put money on one of the teams making the playoffs and winning a championship, it would certainly be the Bills. And I don't think anyone would put money on the Sabres winning the Stanley Cup. Even if the odds could make you $1,000,000 for a dollar, I don't think anyone would waste their dollar. We're back here. Crowd's buzzing. 2nd and 8. Ball around midfield. Henry in the backfield. Lamar's making some audibles. Now he's backing off the ball. Initially lined up under center. Now he's in shotgun. Henry lined up next to him. Lamar, pocket collapses. It's going to be caught by Rashad Bateman. He looks a little shaken up, but he pops right up. It's going to be gained about 3, so we'll have a big 3rd down around midfield to introduce the Bills' defense here. Interesting. Terrell Bernard is ranked 80th out of 84 or something on PFF. Again, some of those make sense. Some of those don't make any sense because obviously Bernard is a much better linebacker than that. But 3rd and 3. Lamar's going to keep it. Joey Bosa got fooled, and Lamar all the way down to the 30-yard line on the read option. 17-yard gain for Lamar. Yeah, read option. Joey Bosa completely fooled on it. Oof. And you're dealing with the hardest quarterback to read in the run game, though, so let's not overreact. Looks like a power setup here for the Ravens. Zay Flowers out wide. It's going to be a toss to Henry. He's trying to find a hole, and he does. And he trucks over a guy all the way into the end zone. Touchdown, Derrick Henry. I don't know if that was Taylor Rapp or Cole Bishop that got trucked through. Dorian Strong missed a tackle as well. And the Ravens go up top, 9-7. Yeah, Cole Bishop just got trucked. That wasn't his guy initially. Taylor Rapp should have been there as well. And if these Bills safeties aren't going to kill them in the passing game, they're going to kill them in the running game when the running backs get free from that defensive line. Missed tackles by both safeties. Extra point up and good. It's 10-7 Baltimore. How quickly things can change. Ugh. Again, a near impossible combo in that backfield to stop. But it all starts with that Joey Bosa read where he reads the play wrong. Lamar takes the ball for 17 yards, and the very next play, quick toss to Henry. And we've seen this before. PTSD for sure. Dogfight has started. Yeah, back and forth game. We expected this. It'll be a good game. Hopefully the offense can go back to doing some creativity instead of just running the ball up the middle 3 times in a row. That'd be nice. And get Joey Bosa. Yeah, again, Joey Bosa, I'm not going to overreact with him. That's again, if he's missing that read with, I don't know, Daniel Jones or something, area for concern. But it's Lamar Jackson. He does that every week. You'd like to see Joey Bosa predict Lamar is going to get the ball because you know you have the help inside and you know you're the only guy outside. But back-to-back bad reads from this defense. And a nice play design on that toss to Henry. Again, gave him plenty of time to kind of read the defense, gave the offensive line and the tight ends plenty of time to block. They brought the backup tight end in the backfield on that as well. That's the kind of creativity that wins championships, that wins big-time games in this league. And the Bills, it just seems like, some drives they have the creativity, and some drives they're going out there with a predetermined script of, okay, first down we're doing a halfback screen, second down we're running up the middle, and no matter what happens, third down we're running up the middle, and it's got to stop, right? We've seen the system play out year in year out, and I don't dislike Joe Brady. It's just you have Josh Allen. Let's How many times do we have to run it up the middle on 2nd and 2, 2nd and 1? You gotta You got to do a play that's at least going to get you a couple. Again, it's a free couple of yards in the pass game on 2nd and 1 because they don't care about giving up that first down. They're assuming they're going to give it up. They're just watching downfield. So they're showing the new stadium. Kickoff coming up. Yeah, Ravens just went ahead. Codrington picks up the bouncing kick, and this time he's brought down at around the 23-yard line. Not a good return at all from Codrington as he picked up the bouncing kick. That'll kind of be the comparison that Victor brings up this year. Joey Bosa and Von Miller. Von Miller's the past, Joey Bosa's the future. Same type of deal, right? You bring him in to serve a purpose, shorter term thing. That's what we're going to say at the end of this year. Was Joey Bosa a better addition than Von Miller? And again, it's a 1-year thing with Bosa. If it goes bad, it is what it is. Empty backfield. Allen's going to be a wide receiver screen, and Keon Coleman drops the ball. And my least favorite play in the game is the wide receiver screen. Doesn't even work in college. Again, we see it week in, week out in college football. They try to get their quarterbacks those easy things. And guess what teams run the QB screens? The team with freshman quarterbacks, the teams with quarterbacks that can't throw the ball. Why do the Bills continuously run the wide receiver screen? It's not a good idea. It doesn't work. Allen, if there's one weakness in Allen's game, it's wide receiver screens. He zings the ball over there too hard. He does the underhand throw. Don't get me started about the wide receiver screens. And Keon Coleman drops that. Not a good start to his year. 2nd down and 10. Allen finds an open Joshua Palmer. That's his first reception as a Bill, about a 4-yard gain. So 3rd down and ready for the Bills, 3rd and 6. But a good play for the Bills. At least make 3rd down a little easier. Josh Palmer, only 1 touchdown last year, career low. Hopefully some better numbers in Buffalo this year. A lot of people expecting big things from him. Ty Johnson, the 3rd down running back. Allen calling for an audible. Takes it. Another tight end screen, and Kincaid gets it, and he's popped, and the ball comes out, and it goes out of bounds. And the Bills will have to punt it. I mean, the Bills will have to punt it. I don't know. Again, Joe Brady. Whether Kincaid fumbled that ball or not, he was nowhere close to getting that first down. Allen, another porous wide receiver screen throw, which he cannot throw. Kincaid almost dropped the ball. He fell to a knee. I mean, Brad Robbins, come on, let's have a good punt here. That punt outkicked the coverage a little bit. The 25. Big time tackle by Cam Lewis at the 30, though. Big time tackle. Oof. We'll go to commercial for 30 seconds. Yeah, not a good play called on. That's back-to-back drives, or just a pathetic job by Joe Brady. And I don't know. You have Josh Allen in this offense. You have 3 really good running backs. There's no reason an offensive coordinator should be this confused. And Ken Dorsey, Joe Brady, getting kind of ridiculous. Both these guys just don't know how to run this team. Again, you could put somebody who plays Madden all day in charge of this offense, and I think they'd have some success. So I don't know. At the 31, 1st and 10, defense needs to come up with a stop here. They're sending some pressure. Lamar gets the throw out, and About a 5-yard gain. Good coverage, though, from Benford to make the tackle. And he gets right in the face of Bateman. Now he throws a punch. No flag. I guess it was an open hand punch, so geez, you can't be doing that. He must have said something to him, but Benford's got to know there. You can't be throwing hands. If you get kicked out of this game, the Bills are down to Jamarcus Ingram as your cornerback 2 and Dorian Strong as your cornerback 1. 2nd and 5. High formation. Be a handoff to Henry, and somehow he just continues to run up the middle, and there he goes, all the way to the 40, the 30, the 20, and tackled by Dorian Strong at around the 14-yard line in Bills territory. Geez, this Bills defense is getting picked apart. And this all starts with Joe Brady's ineptness to make any creative calls whatsoever. And just the Bills, so timid to even touch Derrick Henry. They're just terrified of him. They just get the snap off, first down. Another run up the middle. About a gain of 3 or 4. Man, you got to hold them to a field goal here. Absolutely have to do it. Henry on the sidelines, though. He seems to be gassed, so that's good. Again, it's just set out back-to-back 3-and-outs. Terrible job from Joe Brady. And now this defense is out here yet again. They're tired. At the 11, 2nd and 5. Bills defense has to come up with a big play. Zay Flowers in motion. Going to be a read option. Lamar's going to take it all the way to the end zone. Touchdown, easy. Big time touchdown there, and it's going to end up being a 10-point game after this extra point. Ravens fans in the crowd getting hype. Yeah, it's a very confusing offense to defend against, but you can't blame the defense for this. It's all on the offense right now. Extra point up and good. So 17-7. Not time to hit the panic button just yet. You got to score on this next drive. Make it a 1-possession game again. But with the Jets looming next week, they did not look bad this week. Not a good start for the Bills. 17 straight. Yep, definitely getting ugly. And again, it just comes back-to-back screenplays from the offense. On a 3rd and 6, Joe Brady's play call is to throw it out to Dalton Kincaid out wide, a play that has not worked in his entire tenure as Bills offensive coordinator. He does it twice. 2 out of the 3 plays last drive, he tries that. I mean, again, it should, like, his playbook is literally like the Brian Dable loose sleeve sheet of paper. And I mean, I know it might be an unpopular take, but Brian Dable will be my favorite Bills offensive coordinator, and I don't know if anyone's going to be able to top him. I know he hasn't done a good job with the Giants, but some of the creativity that he had, of course, one of the scariest offenses of the decade, right? It made the top 25 list, was the Brian Dable offense that was under the Bills. And since then, yes, nobody knows how to use the MVP. No one knows how to use the best quarterback in the league. I don't know. So we'll see what the Bills can do. Yeah. Yeah, again, they put handcuffs on their best player. It would be like if the Ravens took Lamar Jackson and told them, "Okay, you have to throw all game long. You can't leave the pocket." I don't understand it. I don't understand. And again, I am not in favor of running Josh Allen. Like sometimes you got to do it. I get it, but I'm not in favor of it. That's not what I'm saying to do. And look at that, showing the Buffalo State University on NBC right now. Wow, what a beauty, right? What a great campus. So we'll see if Joe Brady flips to page 2 of the playbook, and maybe he realizes that he has a quarterback that can throw the ball all the way down the field. I don't know. Another bouncing kick. You just got to let it go through the back of the end zone at that time. Kydrington gets it though. Gets down the sideline and out of bounds at like the 32. But again, with that rule, if it lands in the zone and goes through the back of the end zone, that's not a good spot. If it lands in the end zone, then you get your regular touchback all the way up. All right, 1st and 10. Bills need points, any points in this drive. Reggie Gilliam in the game. It's going to be great. Ty Johnson almost drops the pitch, takes that one, and that's going to be a gain of around 7. There we go. Ty Johnson, again, one of my favorite players. Every time he touches the ball, good things happen. Yeah, almost fumbled that. Good blocking. Good, great downfield blocking, as MMG would say. So 2nd and 3 now. Let's see, 2nd and short. Let's see us run the ball up the middle for 1 yard. Hook in the backfield, I formation. Elijah Moore in the game. Shavers out wide. Elijah Moore motions. Oh, and it's a nice little play to Elijah Moore out wide. He's going to pick up the 1st down and more. 1st down. His first touch as a Bill. Good play design. There we go. From Cleveland. Now we check in on Joe Brady. There's a good play call. You finally get something a little more creative with this team. Again, Tyrell Shavers, we'll see what he does this season. I'm not as high on Tyrell Shavers as some of these people are. He's a good receiver, but again, a lot of his highlights in preseason or that 80-yard catch, they're all against 3rd string, 4th string guys. Let's see what he could do at the NFL level. This will be some time to kind of dissect what he can do. Allen, with a little bit of time, he throws it and almost picked off. Threw it right into the line and batted down. So it'll be 2nd and 10 with 8:10 to go in the 2nd. Another blown up play where I don't know if they're trying to run a screen or if there's supposed to be something else downfield open. Just this Bills offense is completely confused right now. So great job from the Ravens defense. And Allen tried to catch that ball. I don't know why. You got to be batting that down. Second and 10. 3 seconds on the play clock. They got to get the snap off. They just do. Allen doesn't see anything. He swings out wide to Cook. Cook makes one cut and gets 0 yardage. So it's going to be 3rd and 10. Geez, nothing open downfield for the Bills. And this is going to be a concern all season long. The Bills receiving group is not the greatest in the league. Definitely a bottom 10 group of receivers. They're going to heavily rely on the tight ends. No one gets open. And if no one gets open downfield, people start pressing up. And the longer you take to get it to those check down routes, the more time the linebackers have to shadow that. 3rd and 9. Allen steps up in the pocket. He's got to run. He throws it downfield, and that is caught. Keon Coleman comes back to the ball and gets it right along the sidelines. Able to juke out Wiggins. And there it is. Finally, a big-time play for the Bills. Let's make sure he stayed in bounds. Absolutely knee down. Football corralled. Didn't touch the ground. Good job. See, that's where Allen is dangerous. Outside the pocket. Now quick. There we go. A nice wide out throw to Dawson Knox. Gets around the edge, and that's going to be another 1st down. Good quick play from the Bills, and now they're starting to get that tempo going, the tempo that's much needed in this offensive scheme. Oof. And this is what you got to do. You got to keep the pace moving. When you take forever to get the ball out and then you do a slow developing wide receiver screen, it's not going to work. But when you can do something quick like that after a big time play, that is when you move the ball downfield. Got to get the defense tired. So they're at the 25, 1st and 10. Wouldn't be surprised if they just hand it off here. It's going to be a pitch to Cook. Nice juke there. Hopefully he holds on to the ball. He does. Gain of 8. There you go. Nice little pace from the Bills offense. Finally starting to see a little something after back-to-back stinker drives. 7-play drive so far, about 3.5 minutes, 52 yards. Going to show Spencer Brown blocking. Roquan Smith got turned around. Kyle Van Noy Simpson. 2nd and 3. Allen. Motions Gilliam over. Another handoff up the middle, and Cook, well, what do we know? Smothered for nothing. 2nd and 3, again, run up the middle. With your smallest running back. And now 3rd and 3. It's just a wasted play every time. Just run it up the middle on 2nd and short every time. Right up the middle, run it up the middle with somebody who's not good at short yardage. Allen gives it to Shakir up the middle, and somehow he finds a way to move past that 1st down marker. A nice handoff to Shakir, of all people. Maybe that's the answer on 2nd and short. Hand it off to a running back or a wide receiver up the middle. There's a little creativity. Doc with a nice block. So it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 12. They still can get another 1st down if they also choose to. So they're highlighting Roquan Smith talking about 0. Josh Allen going end zone. It looks like to be overthrown. It is. Keon Coleman was the intended receiver. I don't know if that throw was kind of just a throwaway from the beginning or not. Looked like it was way out of bounds from the start. Maybe trying to draw PI. 2nd and 10 now. You need some sort of points. A touchdown would be great, though. Ravens get the ball in the 2nd half. Six seconds left. Cook motioning out. 4, 3, 2, and the Bills are probably going to have to call timeout here. Nope, they just get the snap off. They motion Cook back in for a run up the middle. It's about 3 yards. Another bad play call. The 3rd and long. So back-to-back questionable plays there. A throwaway on 1st down after didn't really see any pressure, and then a handoff up the middle for 2. Cook 7 rushes for 19 yards. About 2.2 yards per carry. Not ideal. So Ty Johnson, 3rd and 8, the 3rd down running back. He motions out to make it 5 wide. Nope, now he motions back in. Josh Palmer in motion. 3 seconds on the play clock. 2, they just get it off. Allen's got all day to throw. Finds the guy underneath it. Shakir puts a stiff arm on, but he's going to be short of that 1st down mark. And the Bills are going to have to send out Matt Prater for the field goal. Absolutely got to kick the field goal here. Cannon on the coverage. Good coverage downfield. No one got open. At least Allen took his check down and made it an easier field goal. Yeah, nobody open. Bunch of Joe Brady routes in the end zone, just kind of decoys. Here we go. Prater's first test. 25-yarder. Doesn't get much easier than this. Basically an extra point. A little shorter. Snap, hold, kick up, and good. So back to a 1-possession game. We can settle down a little bit. 17-10. Bills defense has to come up with a stop next. Yeah, Ravens defense is good. We knew that coming into this game. Solid defensive line, really good secondary. I've seen some people saying that their secondary could be a weakness this year. I just don't see how that's possible. Roquan Smith, Kyle Van Noy up the middle, Jair Alexander, Nate Wiggins, Marlon Humphrey, Kyle Hamilton, and Starks as the safeties as well. That's just a really talented defense and secondary. So I don't know what you do if you're the Bills defense for this next drive. You got to stop Derrick Henry. I don't know if that leaves guys open downfield or not, but even if it does, I think it is what it is. You gotta make Lamar beat you with his arm and not his legs and not Derrick Henry. Certainly a disappointing start to this game after it looked like it was going to be good. So the goal is to at least have this a one possession game by halftime. Ravens get the ball to start the second half. Not ideal, but you can save this from being a disaster early. At least give yourself a chance. Again, we're going to come back, and I'll be talking about this if we lose to those back-to-back drives, 3-and-outs, where they just had zero going. Then you have that drive, and all of a sudden you got like 3 super creative plays in a row, and then it disappears again. Yeah, first game of the year too. Usually defenses are a little ahead of the game. That trend has kind of flipped over the last 2 to 3 years. Promoting Notre Dame, Texas A&M next Saturday night on NBC should be a good one. Hopefully Notre Dame could get a win, get right back in the playoff race. Matt Prater lining up the kick. .50 to go in the half. Kick goes up. It's caught at the 5. And oh boy, big return there. Tackled it around the 47-yard line. Ali, the 4th-string running back, able to take that one. And I think we're seeing something from the Ravens end of things. Their kickoff with the little bounce, I'm liking that. Makes the returner take a little bit extra time to secure the ball. Whereas that bloop kickoff to the 10-yard line just gives them an easy running head start. It's like catching a fly ball in baseball. See if the Bills defense can get a stop. Terrible field position for the Bills defense. Have to stop them almost on like one set. First play is a handoff up the middle, and somehow Derrick Henry just keeps going. A 15-yard carry there, another first down. Defense just completely in disarray. Good block. TJ Sanders completely lost. Solomon lost. A little hurry up offense from the Ravens. Let's see if they take a shot here. Derrick Henry's back in the backfield. They might take this down to the 2-minute warning. No, they snap it right before. Derrick Henry sprawls forward for a gain of 4, and that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. There's a mental win. Guess they were able to stop him for not a 15-yard gain that time. Yeah, tomorrow's game should be fun. Vikings and Bears. I picked the Vikings to win in my picks video. I think the Bears are going to take a little bit of time this season to adjust to Ben Johnson and that new offensive scheme. I think it's a good opportunity for the Vikings to kind of take advantage of a developing situation in Chicago. Bills defense absolutely has to hold them to a field goal and go right down the field and get a field goal at least. Keep this a 7-point game by halftime. Yeah, defense does not look good though. They're getting some pressure, but when they're just running up the middle, no one's stopping it. They just have no answer for Derrick Henry. And that's where Walker's going to end up being a big question mark this year. If he could end up being that run stopper, that big guy that the Bills have been missing for years, a Linval Joseph type defensive tackle, that would be huge. So far, nothing from him tonight. Still a commercial break here, 2-minute warning. Just not a good start for this Bills team. I would have really loved to touchdown that last drive, unable to do so. The 2nd and 5 coming up for the Ravens. And again, once you let this Ravens team ahead of you, they can just keep running it down the middle. They have no urgency to throw. Bill's showing a little bit of pressure from Taylor Rapp. Cole Bishop off the edge and pops up and dropped. Incomplete. Greg Rousseau got a hand on it. It popped all the way in the air. Was anyone's ball at the line? Incomplete. Oof, so that's a big play right there. Now 3rd and 5. Let's see if this defense can get a stop. Great hand by Rousseau to pop that one up. Fortunately, no Bills around where it came down, but 3rd and 5. If the Bills decide to bring pressure, Ravens call a timeout before this play. Crucial play coming up after this timeout break. Yeah, Cole Bishop on that last play caused that quick throw. Rousseau got the hand on it. No DeMar Hamlin yet. Third and 5. If I'm the Ravens, I'm probably just dropping back with Lamar, throwing it out wide. Go running back. That seems to be working for them on these 3rd downs, just these short passes. See if the Bills bring any pressure or not. No Derrick Henry on the field. Lamar steps back, throws it over the middle, and it is caught by Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers and Mark Andrews were both there to make the catch. Nobody on the Bills or even close to that one. 1st down. Ah. Take a look at that to make sure he caught it. I think he did. Ah! I would take a look at that one. The football kind of bounced on the ground. The Bills did call a timeout there. Let's see if they end up throwing the challenge flag. Guess not. And the Bills have been really bad under the McDermott era with challenges. Not a strong suit. They hired John Perry, a former ref. He has done no help. 1st and 10 now. Back to open playbook for the Ravens. That was the Bills' chance to stop them, and they failed. To be a handoff to Hill, and it's popped out. Joey Bosa forced a fumble. Hill picks it up, and he's tackled at the 32-yard line. Huge loss. There's a big play from Joey Bosa. Bernard makes the tackle, and that changes everything. Huge play from Joey Bosa. Just reached out, got his hand on the ball. That's going to be a loss of a whole lot of yardage. Second and 25. The Bills call their second timeout. They're trying to save some time, hoping that they could, at worst, allow a field goal here and then try to go back down and get it back. So we'll see if the Ravens try to pick up a chunk play or if they just keep it on the ground with Henry and probably get a chunk play anyway, because that's what they've been able to do all night long. Second and 15. Can this Bills defense hold on a 2nd and 15? Ravens 2 timeouts, Bills 1 timeout. Going to be a flip pass to Zay Flowers. He's caught in the backfield. And he just dives forward to the line of scrimmage. Bills will call their last timeout of the half with 1:30 to go in the second. 3rd and 25 coming up for the Ravens. And again, keep in mind, Tyler Loop, a rookie kicker. If you could keep this a long field goal attempt, it's going to set the pressure, even though he made his first one pretty easily. Feels like a slow death playing these Ravens. Yep, they just pick you apart. DC's all ready for that Vikings game tomorrow. Hopefully it's a good one. Third and 24. Zay Flowers in motion. It's going to be a Lamar keep. Joey Bosa right there. Forces him. And a big sack there. Ed Oliver and Joey Bosa. Got to make sure there's no post-play fouls. Joey Bosa comes up and walks away. The Ravens will allow that clock to run down to 30 seconds. So there's going to be around, 50 seconds when they have to kick this field goal, 45 seconds. Good job by Joey Bosa there, though. Huge defensive stop, and Joey Bosa, a massive part of it. Great to see. He's going to have to be really good on this Bills defensive line for them to have a chance at his Super Bowl. So this is going to be a 49-yard field goal for Loop. Going to be around 30 seconds by the end of this field goal. Bills have no timeouts. Kick is up, and it is right down the middle. 20-10. 31 seconds the Bills will have, which, again, they can easily go down with no timeouts. So you have a really good quarterback to do it. So Bills offense, 31 seconds they'll have. DC predicting 29-10 tomorrow night. I don't mind that. The Bills need points here. If they could go down and get points, that would be big. If not, they're in a really tough spot not getting the ball after halftime. Tyler Loop has been good this game. The rookie looking better than a lot of other young kickers were today. But keep in mind, Matt Prater has not had a whole lot of reps this preseason. I don't know where his field goal range currently sits. 41 years old and was not expecting to play this early on in the season. The one thing the Bills certainly cannot do here is have a mistake, have some sort of turnover, and give the Ravens more points, because that would pretty much seal this game up. So you have to kind of toe the line of being aggressive here and cutting your losses. Yeah, both QBs kept in check. And again, I think it has to do with what we saw last season. Bills receivers just not getting open downfield. A tough matchup, but again, when you don't have a true number one receiver, again, Shakir hasn't had the ball downfield, had that one handoff. But you don't have a true number one receiver on this team. And you could say what you want about Diggs, but since he's been gone, there's no one that we can really rely on. Codrington's going to take the kickoff. That's going to tick the clock back. You better get a good return there, and he doesn't. He's down. It's actually Ty Johnson at around the 27. Another position I think the Bills could significantly improve on. Kick returning. Codrington, not a huge fan of him. Hasn't really done much as a returner. Had a good one to start the game, but Ray Davis is the running back here. See if the Bills even try anything here from the 27 with 25 seconds to go. Allen has time to throw. Around in the pocket, he's going to throw it deep, and he's got a guy, but they got to hurry up. Good catch by Shakir at around the 50. You got to spike it, though. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. Again, with no timeouts, this is tough. 8, 7, and he finally gets the spike off with 7 seconds at the 48-yard line, 47. Great route by Shakir. So now with 7 seconds, you got to do something quick out on the sideline, which, again, they're just going to cover the sidelines, or you got to go Hail Mary. Good play, but not enough to get him in field goal range. Good throw there. Man, that would be huge if they could get a field goal before the end of this half. So the Ravens call timeout now after the spike to let their guys get a quick breather. Victor says, I see Gabe Davis on their roster before the end of September. I do too. Again, if a guy like Shavers is not going to get open downfield, you got to throw someone in there that has chemistry with Allen. Keep in mind, Gabe Davis is coming back from an injury, a lower body injury. I don't think he is going to be an option in the first 3 weeks, at least. Matt Prater, they're saying career-long 61-yarder, but that came all the way back in 2013. Seven seconds. Allen, empty backfield. Do you just bomb it? Looks like that's what they're going to do. They're going Hail Mary. Oh, 1 second. And now it says 0. Kincaid catches it at the 25. I think there's 1 second, but the clock says 0. John Hussey's going to take a look at it. And now the Ravens are running off the field. John Hussey says, hold on. Yeah, there's 1 second left. What a play. John Hussey says, put that second back on. What a throw. What a play. 1 second left. Come on, Prater. Make this field goal. If he can make this field goal, the Bills right back in the game. What a drive. And it's definitely 1 second. We could see the toe drag. It's a long last second there, but it's certainly out of bounds with 1 second. Come on, Prater. Got to hit this field goal. Got to hit this field goal. Prater, 43-yarder. Snap, hold, kick. It's up, wobbling towards the center, and good. Matt Prater, already better than Tyler Bass. Just kidding. What a job, though. What a job there from the Bills. Sean McDermott, quick interview here at halftime. Saying that's big. Wow. Score prediction for tomorrow night. I'll go 31-21 Vikings. Oh. All right, I am going to take a quick halftime break. We'll have a YouTube video here for halftime. I will see you guys in the third quarter.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Buffalo Talk Center. It's episode 15. Cal, we are 1 week away to the Bills' season opening game against the Baltimore Ravens on Sunday Night Football. We're eagerly anticipating that. The Bills finally confirmed their 53-man roster. Each of us had made a projection last week of what we thought the team would look like. I think I did. I know I did pretty good. I'm pretty sure you did as well. Had many of the same players on our lists. The only divergences came with the offensive line, but that's been taken care of for the Bills. So now we look on to week one. But before any of that, Cal, how are you doing?
I am doing fabulous. I mean, we had a banger week of college football. Of course, my Notre Dame Fighting Irish take on Miami tonight. So by the time this video is out, we'll know the result of that one. But other than that, some really, really good college games to get us going in week one. A lot of blowouts as well, but that's, to be expected with college football. And you got Power Five schools going against teams that are just trying to, make a little bit of money here and there. Of course, with the week one of college football, like you mentioned, week one of NFL starts next week after Labor Day weekend. And we got a bunch of good games. We got a bunch of NFL news to get to, but let's start with the Bills because obviously this is a Buffalo sports account. Let's get us going. Week one, Sunday night football, last stadium in the Ralph. How are we feeling about that one? I know we'll have a preview video and picks videos coming out later in the week, so we're not going to give our predictions, score wise in this podcast, but we can just kind of talk about some storylines. So, how are you feeling about the game?
I'm always nervous for Bills games. Always am. It's better that we get the Ravens out of the way in week one. I would hate to face this team late in December. I hate to face the Ravens anytime because on paper they are a matchup nightmare for the Buffalo Bills, and that nightmare only became more compounded after the recent news today regarding Dwayne Carter. But we'll get to that a little bit later. I'm always scared to face the Ravens. I think Lamar Jackson is neck and neck there with Josh Allen in terms of who's the best quarterback or who is the better one of the two. They're basically tied in my mind. Although, since we are both Bills fans, I got to give Josh the extra leg, extra kick. They're both MVPs, of course. I only know this because Ravens fans on Twitter keep complaining about it. It's embarrassing for them. You guys got to stop. This they're gonna hate me for those comments. But yeah, Cal, those stuff. I don't know. But Ravens fans just it's gonna be another nail biter, I think, down to the final couple of plays of the game, right to the end. Whoever has the ball last probably is going to win the game. Last year, the Ravens lost, even though they had the ball at the end. Isaiah Likely had a shoe size one too high. Hopefully that happens and it benefits the Bills this year.
Yeah, and again, week one, defenses usually start a little bit better in the NFL than offenses. Now, in the last couple of years, that hasn't necessarily been the case. Of course, there's the new kickoff rule, and you could tell the league wants more scoring. They want more offense and less defensive games. So, implementing the new kickoff rule, that'll be interesting to see. I'm sure we'll see even less touchbacks this year than we saw in years prior. Tyler Bass, we don't know his health status as of yet. He appears to be fine, but the Bills a couple of days ago worked out 3 kickers, Zane Gonzalez being one of them. I'm a little bit worried about that. Of course, some of these kickers are not the greatest. Again, there's a reason they're free agents. Tyler Bass, not my favorite player. I'll be open and say that. I certainly don't trust Tyler Bass when the game's on the line. I know he hit that big one against Miami, but other than that, I don't trust him. We really shouldn't be worried about a field goal kicker, but at the same time, with Josh Allen as your quarterback, every drive you should be able to get into at least long field goal range. So if you have a kicker that can make routine 55, 60-yard field goals, I feel like this team just isn't going to punt at all this year. And it may sound a little cocky, but again, the running back room is great. Josh Allen's one of the best quarterbacks, if not the best quarterback in the league. And the wide receivers have gotten better from last year. How much, though? Not too much.
It all depends on Keon Coleman and how he takes his next steps. I think Josh Palmer is a significant upgrade over Mac Hollins. Love Hollins. Thought he was great. He was a good stopgap sort of rotational player, but nothing more than that. Josh Palmer, great speed, great separation abilities. What were we talking about? I just wanted to talk about how great the Bills are. I totally lost my train of thought there. I don't know where I was going with that.
Yeah, just kind of comparing the teams. I mean, again, we would be remiss to not bring up Derrick Henry in this matchup, right? Because Derrick Henry has always just clobbered the Bills, and he clobbers other teams too, but he's another year older. He's probably another tick slower than he was last year. At the same time, though, Derrick Henry is still, an absolute beast of a running back. Somebody you don't want to line up with, especially the Bills, who have had one of the worst rushing defenses the last few seasons. You mentioned, I guess we could bring it up, Dwayne Carter, Achilles injury, tore it, so he's out for the entire season. Dwayne Carter, I didn't expect much from him this year. Again, a huge disappointment last year. But this really puts the pressure on both rookie defensive tackles. Of course, Sanders and Walker, the behemoth of a man from Kentucky. And then, of course, Sanders, who's a little bit undersized, but has had a really good training camp so far. High hopes for both of those guys. And then we got to bring up Jordan Phillips because he could potentially be the guy to replace Dwayne Carter on the 53-man roster. We've seen what Phillips can do in the past. Phillips had, I think, the only sack in that Chiefs playoff game last season. So he is somebody who's familiar with the defense. He's a fan favorite for sure. How do you feel about the Bills' defensive line this year? Of course, if you want to get into Joey Bosa and some of the edges, you are more than welcome to as well.
Of course, yeah. I'm always concerned about the D-line. Before the whole offseason, the D-line was the biggest concern. Now that's safety. But the D-line, especially with the Dwayne Carter news, you mentioned it. For anyone who doesn't know, he was the Bills' 2024 third-round pick. Had a very underwhelming rookie season, didn't do a whole lot to stand out. His offseason, training camp, preseason games equally did not go his way. So this is just another setback for a player that we thought could be really pivotal for the Bills this year. This is devastating news for him. Brings more questions about his NFL future than answers. We won't get to see what maybe would have been a sophomore step up for him. We'll have to.
Second half time. Welcome back. Got a couple seconds till we kick off for the second half. Ravens will get the ball. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that preview video. The Bills end up winning that game. We're going to be looking back at that drive right before halftime. What an incredible job by the Bills offense to go down and get points. Good field goal from Prater as well. We take a look here at some statistics from the first half. So Allen was 12 for 17 with 113 yards. Ty Johnson had 24 yards on the ground, had the most rushing yards. That's kind of a red flag. Kincaid, 37. Shakir, 35. Knox, 20. Pullman, 17 in the air. The run game's got to get going. Pass game's got to keep cooking. The offense is kind of up in the air. And then that defense has got to stop Derrick Henry. We flipped things over. Lamar, 8 for 10 in the air. Hasn't thrown it that far down the field, but has been consistent. Hasn't made too many mistakes. And Derrick Henry, 9 rushes for 123 yards. That is what is killing this team. Zay Flowers, 36 yards. No one else too many yards in the air. That's the difference. Save skis, go to the gym and play hockey. Just too much whiskey. Prime says, we got this. That's 3 points before half. Huge. Yeah. If you don't get that field goal, it's a long ways back. But all of a sudden, it's a one-possession game. You get a stop, you're right back in the game. Even if you don't get a stop, 2-possession, big-time field goal before the end of the half as we're back from commercial. Whole lot of football to be played. Got to hit the reset. They're showing over Buffalo. They're showing the drone show. Bills logo, Allen Hurdle with these drones. I'm sure if you guys want to check it out, go on social media and see it. They got the Sunday Night Football one. Pretty cool. See Prater's kickoff if he's going to try maybe a little bit of a bouncer, if he saw something he liked with loops. or if he's just going to keep kicking the little chipper to the 10-yard line. That one's booted. That's going to go through the back of the end zone. And need touchback into the 35. We got a little bit of a scrum on the field. I don't know if any flags will be thrown. They cut to a halftime interview with Harbaugh. But looked like we had some pushing and shoving on the field. Yeah, cool drone show for sure. So no flags on the scrum. 1st and 10 from the 35 after the touchback. At the I formation, expecting a run. Lamar hands it off to Derrick Henry. What else would you expect that time? Henry barrels forward for about 2 or 3. Good start for the Bills defense. Dorian Williams has a, I don't know what you'd call it, on his left arm. Not like a cast, but it's one of those, braces. Jimmy Charlo sighting on the sidelines. 2nd and 7. Bills defense showing pressure. Now they back off. Zay Flowers in motion. It's going to be a throw. Bills send pressure. Bosa. Oh, Lamar to the middle. Good job by Milano to take him down. A gain of a half yard maybe as Lamar was able to slip out of the sack. But Milano holds on. Big 3rd down early on in this half. I'm ahead of your NBC. Look at that. I'd rather be ahead than behind. At least it's easier to pause the stream if you want than to pause your TV. But 3rd and 7, he's got all day to throw over the middle. Wide open, Zay Flowers. Bernard wasn't even close. To the 30, 25. Tackled at the 20 of Buffalo. Yeah. Taylor Rapp and Bernard lost the coverage there. Let's take a look at the replay. Cole Bishop blitzed from the safety. Terrible defensive call. Interesting. Oh. The Ravens almost in the red zone. Could be a screen to Flowers. A good block there. There goes Flowers into the end zone. Touchdown. And the Ravens, after the Bills defense had 2 good plays, all it took was 2 more. Wow. Tyler Stanley and Linderbaum with the nice blocks out wide. This Bills defense is getting bullied. Benford got crushed along the side. Well, they scored quick. It'll be a 14-point game after this extra point. Up and good. 27-13. Not a great start to the half. That's okay. Bills offense can get it right back. Got to go down, score, and you're back to a 1-possession game. And going into this game, didn't feel too good. The defense just wasn't that improved after last year. The offense wasn't that improved either. Rookies are going to take a while to develop, but you got to start getting worried about these safeties. Bishop, Rapp, both have looked really bad this game. Mistiming blitzes, soft coverage. And then on the offensive side of things, that last drive, you can't really count because the defense, again, giving them the middle of the field. So we'll see what happens on this next drive. But wide receivers not getting open. The run game hasn't been there. Need a touchdown on this drive. Far from over. Dave Flowers, big time, double down there, big play downfield, and then the screen touchdown. And again, it all happens because Cole Bishop decides to blitz from about midfield, just left the guy wide open. There was no chance he was getting any pressure on Lamar, especially a mobile quarterback like that. It had to be a miscommunication from someone. I don't know if that's on Bishop or if they just called a terrible audible on defense. They just seem lost. It's a very complex offense to stop, but at the same time, you don't have too many marquee receivers. We haven't seen D Hop. Just been Zay Flowers somehow getting wide open, and the defense just not being able to tackle Henry on second and third tries. It's okay to miss one tackle, but when they're missing 2 and 3, that's when he can get super dangerous. On Friday Night High School, Lancaster winning. Of course, they're showing Joe Andreessen, hometown Depew. Loop kicks it off. Oh, and we got a flag. It did not go in the landing zone, so that's a break for the Bills. That'll push the ball all the way up to the 40-yard line to start. So there's the first mistake from Loop. Would be funny to see someone hasn't watched a football game in about 5 years, watch a game right now and have to learn this new kickoff on the spot. Certainly different than what it once was. So now the Bills really good starting field position. Need a touchdown on this drive. It can be a longer drive. You don't have to get it super quick, but you need points. Palmer in motion. Allen hands it off to Cook up the middle. Cook around a 4-yard gain. Not a bad start to the drive. Green on the tackle out of Marshall. Like Green, number 45, the linebacker. Second and 5. Palmer in motion the other way. Don't let this be a handoff. It is up the middle, and Cook gets about 2 yards. They just ran the same exact play and flipped it, and the Ravens are ready for it. It's just, again, it's high school level play calling for the Bills tonight. Wow. Third and 2. Probably 4-down territory here. Shakir in the backfield. And Allen's going to run it up the middle. It's going to be a first down and a little bit more. Roquan Smith takes him down. But about a 5-yard gain, and that'll be a Bills first down. Looked like he had Shakir open out wide too. Probably would have had the same yardage, but Allen decided to take it himself. Nothing else was open besides Shakir and the Allen run, and he elected to take it himself, as he's going to have to do. So far, no one's getting open downfield, so Allen's going to have to do it himself. Handoff up the middle, Cook with a nice jump cut. There he goes. It's going to be a 10-yard, 11-yard gain, first down for the Bills. Back-to-back plays, getting first downs. This is more what you want to see. The Bills offense moving the ball steadily down the field. Good block by Spencer Brown. A nice cut by Cook. Just had enough excel to get by Robinson. Travis Robinson. First and 10 from 36. Going to be a throw. Allen, plenty of time to throw. He's going way deep, and it is tipped up in the air and incomplete. Second and 10 now. No one's getting open downfield. Every throw that's been over 5 yards has been great coverage. Yeah, Bill's not in a good spot. Trevor McDermott's speech was at halftime doesn't seem to be working. Yeah, it's a tough team to play against. Yeah, just not a good throw there at all either. Almost threw it right to Hamilton. Palmer was the intended receiver, crossed right into his zone. Allen, all day to throw again. Takes his check down, which is Cook. Gets about 3 yards. It'll be a 3rd and 7. So it seems like that's kind of what the Bills have been doing this whole game. If they don't get anything on first down, they try to get at least 2 or 3 on second down. They're taking their check downs, which I don't mind. But now 3rd and 8. Again, might be 4 down territory. Depending on what you do this play, we'll see what the play call is. If it's a setup or something. Ty Johnson, the backfield. Kincaid motions. Ravens send an extra guy. Allen gets the throw off. And it's going to be like a 2-yard gain. Elijah Moore with the catch. And what did the Bills do here? And the Bills are going to stay out there. So 4 down territory. Here it comes. Oh, and he had a wide open guy over the middle too. He didn't throw it to. I think it was Shakir. Allen got hit in the face after the play too. They didn't call it. 4th and 5. We saw, I think Rodgers got hit in the face today and someone else did. They called penalties for. Allen, plenty of time to throw. Throws it way down. Sideline. Flag. Palmer did not make the catch, but there is a flag. Looks like it's going to be pass interference on the defense. A massive bailout. That one's going against Jair Alexander, and the Bills will have the ball at around the 4-yard line. Huge flag. Make sure they confirm it here. They do. Okay. I always get a little nervous. Auto first down. Spot foul. Whew. Ducked it down. Palmer came back for the ball. And yeah, Jair Alexander ripped his arms down. Palmer still probably got to have that ball. But a good job by Palmer to box him out, make sure he had the foul, and immediately look for the flag, which he was granted. So, yeah, right at the 4-yard line. Empty backfield for the Bills. Ooh, a clutch call there. Allen's going to take it himself to the 2. Again, 1 rushing touchdown away from setting the franchise record, passing Thurman Thomas. Gain of 2, got half it. 2nd and goal now. This is where the Bills seem to struggle in recent times. Inside the 20, their red zone offense is not the greatest. And a main reason for that is they haven't had that number 1 receiver to get open. They don't have a red zone threat. So it's either a tight end getting open or just the offensive line giving Allen so much time to find someone. Other than that, you got to try a run up the middle, which is always tough in these obvious run situations. Gonna be a run to Cook. Cook up the middle, and he's in. Touchdown. James Cook gets the Bills back within a 1-score game. Now let's see if the Bills decide to go for 2 here. This is a recurring theme in the NFL. When you're down by 14, a lot of teams go for 2 on the first try. Because if you don't get it, it's still a 1-possession game. And if you do get it, you put them in a tough spot. Looks like they're going to kick the extra point. Still a little early to do that, I guess. Prater, big extra point. Snap, hold, kick, up, and good. 7-point game, just like that. But there is a flag. Hang on. Flag on the extra point. Oh boy. This is on the defense. Maybe they will end up going for 2. They're going to say illegal touching. Too many men on the field. Too many men on the defense. If I'm Sean McDermott, I'm just taking the extra point probably there. Let's see. Too many men on the defense. And Buffalo's going to go for 2. So I'm assuming they're going to try the tush push. So they take a point off the field. Oh boy. So I was one step ahead with my thinking. Looks like they are going to go for 2 anyway. So we'll see our first snow plow of the season. See if they get 1 yard for 2 points. I couldn't imagine them trying any other play from the 1. They're 5 wide. And now Knox motions. And are they pushing Knox in here? No. Ray Davis in motion. Allen's going to throw the ball. Nobody's open. Now he throws it corner end zone. Got it. Keon Coleman gets open. Too much time to give Allen to find someone open. And they get the 2-point conversion. A 6-point game now. And now there's a flag. Oh boy, it might be illegal touching. Keon Coleman may have stepped out of bounds before he caught it. Did he get pushed out of bounds, though? Did step out of bounds. Stepped out of bounds, but he was pushed out of bounds. Let's see what they come up with here. And they call the flag, and they're going to say it's incomplete now because he was out of bounds. Now it's an 8-point game. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. 27-19, 8-point game. Now you got to score a touchdown and a 2. Again, I wouldn't have taken points off the board to begin with. Wow. And to not just ram it in with Allen is just mind-boggling. Why would you even... And Joe Brady has been very, very controversial in this game. Another questionable call. Again, that play took so long to develop. There was really nothing going. You got lucky on that, and end up being incomplete. Wow. Oh, 1 possession game, but an 8-point game now instead of a 7. If the Bills defense did even get a stop to make that mean anything. What alarms me is this defense has been an issue for numerous reasons, and yet it never gets fully fixed. More like a bend but no break philosophy. That's what it's been since Sean McDermott got here. They play soft zone coverage, and the same teams continue to beat them. And that doesn't matter if you're holding them to field goals and your offense is clicking. But when you got this sort of play calling today, you can't allow it. You need some punts. Need some turnovers. But let's forget that 2-point conversion even happened. It's still a 1-possession game. I don't know why you don't just ram it up the middle for 1 yard. I get it if it's from the 2 and you're going for it and you line them up 5 wide, but it didn't seem like there was a hot route on that play. It didn't seem like there was a set route, which usually that is for 2-point conversions. It looked like a regular 5 wide where Allen sat there and goes, none of my receivers are open. Like the same situation it's been all game long. Luckily, the offensive line held up enough, but getting illegal touching there, which is an odd rule. Again, he was pushed out of bounds. So then you toe that line of, well, if I'm a cornerback near the sideline. Why wouldn't I just push the guy out of bounds? Just give him a little tap, and you're ineligible for the play. I don't know. I know there's also the rule on like kickoffs, or if a guy's out of bounds, he can't be the first to make the tackle unless he's pushed out of bounds. Anyway, kickoff coming. Prater kicks it. Returned at the 7. And returned to around the 33. Good tackle there by Thompson. That's Shaq Thompson. Shaq Thompson, a guy who is on the roster bubble. Bills decided to keep him around because of his special team ability. We saw a nice tackle there. And now we're right back to it. How can this Bills defense force a turnover or force a stop? Is there a way? First play, Henry handoff up the middle. About a 5-yard gain, depending on where they marked him. If they, 5-yard gain. And it's just so easy for Henry. They just touch the ball and he's straight up the middle. Yeah. So they're saying lost it down on the foul, but again, he got pushed out. He's getting boxed out in the corner. I don't understand the rule. 2nd and 5. Be a handoff to Henry, and what a tackle! Ed Oliver all over that one. That's going to be a loss of a few, and here comes another big 3rd down for the Bills defense. Can they stop him? What a play by Ed Oliver. He's been a real impact player tonight. Let's see, crossed him up there and just flew right past Rosengarten. Wow. 3rd and 10. That backs them up 5 yards. Snap, Bills bring a little pressure. Bosa forces a deep throw, and no one's even looking. Hopefully no flags. No flags there, as it's going to be 4th and 10. Ball was overthrown. Looking for a flag, but it's probably uncatchable. Good coverage by Benford, and Baltimore will have to punt the ball. Can you believe it? Whew. Take a look if there was any grabbing. He's got his hand on his shoulder. There's no pulling, just kind of gliding over him. Ball was overthrown. If it was anywhere near him, I think we might have saw a little bit of a flag there. There's the punt. Truth, how's it going? Oh, and Codrington's hit as he caught the ball. And he's down at the 17-yard line. Was he contacted before he caught the ball is the question. It looked like it was right as he caught the ball. I'd love to see a replay, but I think we're going to get sent to commercial. Let's see. Oh, he might have been hit before he caught that ball. But bad field position for the Bills when we come back from commercial break. But at least they have the ball. They have a chance to go down and pack on some more points, potentially tie the game. Yeah, Truth, if you see, you were gifted a membership last stream as well. And if you guys want to become members, you get early access to videos and live streams. We're one away from getting a new emoji unlocked. Donations are open too. Leave a like and subscribe if you guys are new. It helps us out a bunch. We're at 3,080 subs. That's a gain of, I think we gained like 10 tonight so far. So we posted some shorts as well that helped out. And we are streaming every Bills game, every Sabres game. If you guys are Buffalo sports fans, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We'll be here all season long. And for the first time since the first quarter, the Bills seem to have the momentum. You got to think the Ravens defense adjusts a little bit. They might start covering downfield a little bit more. Does that open up the Bills' run game a little more? I don't know. Bills are going to have a lot of space to work with, though, and some rough field position. They're showing this USA Soccer commercial, which, if you guys are keeping up with the state of the U.S. men's team, they lost an exhibition game to Korea. Again, I don't know how much those guys are trying during those games. I think Tuesday night they played Japan or another country out in Asia. Automatically qualified for the World Cup. We'll be watching some soccer later on this year. So nice that football's back, and this is the perfect time of the year. You got hockey and basketball looming. Football's in full swing. Baseball's wrapping up. You're getting set for playoffs. Sports time of the year. So here we go. 6:14 left in the third. A whole lot of game left. Allen 14 for 20. Lamar 10 for 13. Very similar numbers. Bills lined up like they're going to run it. And they don't. Allen has no one open. He swings out wide to Cook. That's going to be a no gain play. 2nd and 10. Another play, just zero direction on it whatsoever. First read wasn't there. There's no one else open. We're looking at the Hard Knocks footage of Allen working with those super high-tech cameras to mark, different angles on the arm and the legs and how to get ideal motion in the throwing process. Allen on 2nd and 10. He's got time. Now there's a flag. It's going to be a hold. Allen's going to run it and don't fumble it. It's a gain of 9, but that'll be brought back on a hold. All that scrambling for nothing. John Hussey will break the news to us. That one on Spencer Brown. 9-yard penalty, 2nd down, 2nd and 20 now. So this Bills drive appears to be going nowhere. And again, I'm a strong petitioner for Allen to get out of the pocket. Again, so on something like that, you're just begging for a holding call there. Get out of the pocket, use your legs, and throw on the run. That's where Allen is most dangerous. When he sits in the pocket, that's when the bad stuff happens. That's where he gets hit and his hand, he fumbles the ball. That's when holding happens. 2nd and 18. Not a good place to be. At their own 8. This is a super dangerous spot. Allen backs up into his own end zone, and now he steps up, somehow avoids a sack, does a little flip pass to Shakir. Oh, what a play! And Shakir twists down. Oh, maybe an inch short. It's going to be 3rd and 1. What a play! Almost like Mahomes there. He almost looked like Mahomes with the shuttle pass. What a play. And now they do the tush push. And Allen gets the 1st down. No need to mention that. Here we got a ball. Here we go. Kincaid was thrown down. No flag. Okay, it doesn't look like anyone's going to be throwing hands. But Kincaid got attached to his block with Awuzie. And Awuzie ended up twisting him down, but Kincaid brought him down there, so a little bit. Looked like a little sling blade, Finn Balor style. But 1st down, Buffalo. First and 10. Elijah Moore in motion. Could be a pitch. Ray Davis. He gets about a yard. Yeah, the run game just hasn't been there tonight. Ray Davis has yet to have his big moment this year. Preseason, couldn't really get much more than a yard or 2 on the ground. So far tonight, similar story. 2nd and 8. At least it was a gain of 2, though. It's better than nothing. Elijah Moore in motion again. This time Allen's going to throw it. He's looking for a check down. Doesn't see anything. Oh, he's going deep. And that's incomplete. Overthrew it to Palmer. A little bit of contact there, but definitely uncatchable. 3rd and 8 now. Another tough play. Humphrey was all over that. Yeah, I don't know what you call here on 3rd and 8. Maybe a screen. Something out wide, maybe. Not a wide receiver screen, obviously. But Ty Johnson's in there. They'll probably just do a pass. Maybe you do a design quarterback run. Looks like a long 8, though. David Edwards looks confused. He's looking back. Now he knows. They're going to throw it. Allen out of the pocket. No flags. He's got all day to find someone. Rips it downfield, and it is dropped. Khalil Shakir drops it. No flag. 4th down, they'll have to punt. Oh. Allen had all day to find someone. No one could get open. These receivers got to start getting open. I mean, great job by the O-line. Oh, and Knox is kind of open there, but he just chucked it downfield. You got to come up with that one. That's just these receivers. Questioning pass interference there, but Bills punt it. Brad Robbins, that one looks like it got a lot of air, not a whole lot of distance. Yep. And fair caught at the 32. So the Bills defense is going to have to come up with another stop. Oof. That's frustrating if you're Josh Allen. Yep. Somehow you got to come up with another stop if you're the Bills defense. Questionable play calling. These, again, you have to continuously scheme guys open because none of these receivers can get open. Another weak group of receivers this year for the Bills. It's tough not having a true number one. Shakir tries his best, but again, he's best in the slot. He's a nice slippery type receiver. He's not a number one in this day and age where he's gonna moss guys, outrun guys, and do everything like that. Coleman's been near invisible tonight. And that's part of it. I mean, this again, these starters did not play in the preseason, and they started off really rusty last year, and they're doing the same thing again tonight. 2 of the first 3 drives were terrible. You can tell they're trying to get chemistry, and it's a tough decision. But being in this division, the Bills do have a little bit of leeway to lose these really tough games and still come out on top of that division. You just got to win your divisional games and beat the teams you're supposed to beat. So I can understand the Bills not wanting to really risk being ready for this game if it meant injuries, because the depth on this team is just not there. Henry never rusts. Yeah, he's just every time he touches the ball, he's just up the middle for at least 5. Against some teams he does struggle, but the Bills he has always dominated. And if you could just get Josh Allen, somebody who's just reliable to get open in the big spots, somebody who's just always open, a Travis Kelce like a Mahomes has, a Jamar Chase, T. Higgins like a Joe Burrow has. Again, we look at the Ravens here. Like you have Derrick Henry, but Lamar Jackson has never had that true wide receiver. And there's a reason they don't win when it's important. Kyle Hamilton shaken up after that play. Ran back to the locker room. That's a big development if the Bills can get the ball back. But 1st and 10, they're handing it up. No, they don't. They fake it. Oh, there's a screenplay and Zay Flowers. Oh, he's gone all the way to the 30 out of bounds. Bills defense completely bit on the Henry run. 1st and 10, already in field goal range. This isn't a cry for Gabe Davis. Nothing will be. Yeah, that's bad, isn't it? That we're begging for Gabe Davis, but the secondary is just not there. There's just no depth on this team. Won the Super Bowl last year, Philadelphia Eagles. And the Eagles are just one of the most stacked teams in recent times. Now Derrick Henry gets the ball and it's about 3 yards there. Good tackle. If you could force a field goal here, you're still very much in this game. It's not over. Still early in this, you're not to the halfway point of the second half yet. But you cannot allow a touchdown. Nope, Baltimore lost to us last year in the playoffs in the divisional round. If we beat Baltimore where it mattered last year. Bill sends some pressure. Still can't get to Lamar. He's going to the end zone. One-handed catch. DeAndre Hopkins, a one-handed catch in the end zone. Touchdown, Ravens. Wow, what a catch. Benford was on him. Makes the one-handed catch. Taylor Rapp, nowhere to be seen. Contains it all the way to the ground. What a play. That's the best thing that could have happened. Give the Bills the ball back. Let them try to go down and score. Don't let the Ravens bleed this clock out. What a catch. Extra point is up and good. 34-19. That 2-point conversion is going to come back to bite him. Palmer has 1 reception so far. Hilarious. Yeah, again, everyone they've brought in at receiver is just as mid as you can get. Elijah Moore, Josh Palmer. And people bought into the Keon Coleman hype, which maybe he does show up later on in the season, but he isn't a beast like some of these other receivers are yet. And maybe it'll come, but not yet. Huge Bandits fan. Yeah, 3 in a row for the Bandits. Of course, it's the sport that has the least weight in Buffalo as far as like national stuff goes. So, and you can't really clap back at anyone making fun of our other teams and say, "Hey, Bandits won 3." But it is cool. I keep track of the Bandits. I watch the playoff games. I'll watch the regular season games when I can. Getting cooked by D-Hop in the big 2-5. Yeah. Brings back memories of the Hal Murray. Yeah. D-Hop continues to destroy the Bills. But I'm okay with that because you know what was going to happen. They were going to try to run and bleed that clock out. So you gave up the touchdown, big deal. Go down, get a quick touchdown. Go get quick points and just run it back, right? You have the quarterback to do it. If your defense isn't going to get a stop, then you got to do it. Yeah, Coleman's got to get it going. I mean, that's the position that I would be looking at the trade deadline or before it. I know some people may say safety, some people may say secondary. Personally, for me, without a receiver, you're not going anywhere. This offense just needs a receiver. But Baltimore's a really good team. They got a lot of momentum going, and coming into this game, you knew they were going to be fired up to get their revenge on the Bills. The Bills, it's just another game. A little bit of a push off on that D-Hop catch, not called, but just a great catch. I don't know how you let him get by you, though. He's aging. All right, need a big return here, Codrington. Gets to around the 35. Not bad, but there is a flag, and it's going to be brought back. And Hamilton's back on the field. He'll be back out there. Again, Bill's special teams continues to be an issue. They continue to try to keep the best special teams guys. That's a big focus, but they always get flags, never big returns. That's a hold on Dorian Williams. Yeah, so the Bills, you got to get a touchdown here. Oh, Lamar Jackson pushed a fan after he hit his helmet. I mean, if you're celebrating by the crowd, you got to expect to get freaking hit. I don't know what you're expecting there if you're Lamar. They run it up the middle for about 4 yards with Cook. What happens when Allen is like 36 if they still haven't won? I don't know. And still a whole lot of season to go. I mean, but it does seem like they keep going 3/4 of the way in and they're just not buying in. They're not going all out like some of these other teams do for a Super Bowl. And you could say they did Von Miller, and that just didn't work. So they've tried. They're giving themselves a chance. They just get out coached in the end and not enough depth. Allen can't find anyone yet. He's out of the pocket. Now he finds a guy along the sidelines. There you go. Josh Palmer. That'll keep the clock moving. Probably the end of the third. So a 15-point game at the end of the third. Not ideal, but again, you're in an okay situation if you're the Bills. You got to go down, get points. You get a touchdown, extra point. It's an 8-point game. You're one stop away from having a chance to tie it up at the end. It's not the worst situation. You got the Jets next week, and then 4 more against non-playoff teams last year. The AFC East went 0-1 as a whole today. Yeah, somehow the Bills did. Yeah, they don't have to suffer from the internal cap though. The Bills spend more money than almost any other team in the league, which is crazy if you're someone like you who is solely focused on the Sabres. It's just completely different from Pagula, and I don't understand it. And I think that's why fans get even more upset with the Sabres, is because he shows he can spend money. He shows he wants to win, yet he only does it with one of the two teams. Does DeMar Hamlin still play? Yeah, he's a backup now, and the two guys playing ahead of him are not very good at all. So that shows you how he's regressed, or not regressed, but DeMar Hamlin was never a starter in this league. He was always a backup for us, and of course, glad he is in good health. But he probably will not see the field unless it's a blowout this year, one way or the other. Yeah, again, having to watch the Sabres day in, day out, I can't say I'm a full supporter of Terry Pagula, of course, in that regard. Yeah, it's proven he's doesn't know how to fix it over with the Sabres, and it's been far too long. But he's done a good enough job with the Bills to make many Buffalo residents not really care about that, which I understand. Football's bigger than hockey. But until one of the two teams wins a championship, I can't be too excited. If that does happen, though, then I don't care what happens, for the next little bit, right? Once you win a championship, you got a buffer zone. And they're showing Niagara Falls. So the Bills have the ball, 1st and 10 from the 28. Allen looking deep. Nice catch by Coleman along the sidelines. Hangs on. Note that'll be a first down. Not for the Bills. You got to start using some pace here. Nothing too crazy, but like McDermott developed emotional loyalty to DeMar. Some of the past players been held on too long. Yeah. Cook, nice catch under the middle, but a good tackle by Buchanan, not Kyle Buchanan from the Bandits. I said in 2008 that he would sell the team to anyone that would keep the team. The cap was 55 mil then, and he said they just broke even selling out every game. Oof. Allen going deep along the sidelines. Coleman looks back, but it's underthrown. And now it'll be 3rd and 6. Probably 4-down territory already in this game. So they said Kyle Hamilton spent 5 minutes in the X-ray room and came back. So maybe a dislocated finger. They put some padding on his pointer finger and put a glove on. So he'll be fine. Yeah, Pagula is why we have a hockey team. Again, I'm not going to talk about the Sabres too much more in this one, but it's just what he's done is unacceptable. Nice screenplay, Cook, and he makes a nice move. First down and more, to the 40, to the 30. He's got nothing but green grass ahead of him. To the 20, to the 10. He cuts outside. Oh, he's down at the 1. James Cook, great play. You got to use tempo now. You got to get going. You got to get this ball in the end zone. You cannot let this clock run. Great play by James Cook. But you got to get going here. You got to get this ball in the end zone. Time is of the essence. Yeah, I think a lot of people play into that too much. Oh, Terry Pagula kept the Sabres, kept the Bills in Buffalo. Allen trying to push his way in. He doesn't get there. He slammed to the ground hard. It's going to be 2nd and goal now. And this is just the issue. It's just taking too much time now at the goal line. 13 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. I mean, still plenty of time. I get it, but uh-oh, now we got a whistle. And there's a Ravens player who's injured now in the end zone, so that'll stop the clock. It's Marlon Humphrey. He looks okay, but he's sitting down in the end zone. Don't know if it was contact or not. Reginald, welcome to the chat. He says, got to go for 2 if they score here. I don't know if you go for 2, because if you go for 2 and you miss it, it's still a 2-possession game, and that really changes the game plan. If you don't go for 2, it's an 8-point game, and all you got to do is make a stop, and you're still in the game. So I don't know. It's tough. So finally, a screenplay works for the Bills, though. Good job by Cook, the big money man. And then some nice moves downfield, too, but couldn't get it all the way to the end zone. It's unfortunate, because now that's going to cost some time. I mean, Sabeskis, you could believe what you want, but I don't know. 15 years and no playoffs. I don't think anyone's lining up to praise Pagula. Again, the more you read in it, the more sources you talk to. Bill's probably not going to Toronto. I don't think that was ever a real solution. I don't know. Allen, bootleg. He's going to run it in, and he takes it. Touchdown, Josh Allen. But 12:51 they go. Still plenty of time in this game. Now let's see if they go for 2 or 1. Yeah, and until the Sabres make the playoffs, I don't know how much good I can say about Pagula. He's come in and absolutely destroyed a winning franchise, a team that has always been on the winning side of things. A team that had a great win percentage has now been the joke of the league for the last 15 years. I can't say a single good thing. 2-point conversion though. Allen pump fakes. There's no one open. Oh, jeez, it's taking way too long to find someone. Goes over, finds the corner. It's picked off. And they pitch it back to Van Noy, and he nails it. That's a 9-point game. Back-to-back 2-point conversions where they just have no idea what they're doing. Just regular play, regular play. There's no setup. Oh my. Well, 12:51 to go. Just boneheaded coaching again tonight from the Bills. Why do you go for two there? And if you go for two, I don't understand why they just are running these basic plays. There's no one open. None of your receivers can get separation. You have to know that as an offensive coordinator. You have to scheme something open from the two. I don't know. I can assure you the Sabres are in a better spot in 2009 than they are in 2025. Again, no playoffs. League executives are investigating the team, saying they should be, potentially sold because of how shoddy of a job he's done. And the more and more we look into it, the more agents we talk to, doing this, social media thing, the more former players we talk to. It's an interesting situation. And again, just the amount of incompetent people he's hired at his time with the Sabres, the amount he has to micromanage it. I don't know. He hasn't made a single good decision with the Sabres. He has not made one single good decision, whether that's a GM, a head coach. Not one single, name one single good decision Terry Pagula has made with the Sabres organization since he bought the team. The only one I could think of is switching back to Royal Blue. I mean, that's about it. The arena shows that he gives zero cares about the team. It's run down. It has signage from 2005 in it. Again, does a great job with the Bills. Gives them all the money. There's nothing to complain about on the Bills side of things. Again, got maybe lucky with the group of guys he got here with Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane. They were the perfect guys to get out of the drought. They got very lucky drafting Josh Allen, who turned into by far the best quarterback in that class, and it worked out. And sometimes you do get lucky like that and just get a bunch of guys at once. But with the Sabres, he hasn't got a single guy that knows what they're doing. Again, hired a soccer GM as a coach, hired former players with zero experience as a coach, hired GMs. I don't know. And yeah, I agree. Terry has to be hands off, and the issue is he's not with the Sabres. And I like Lindyruff coming back. I know a lot of people don't. I'm with you there. I don't mind that. Bill's got to kick it off here. Now Lee has a big return yet again. 36. So now the Bills are going to need 2 more stops. Take a look at this play here. Again, nobody can get open on this team in this end zone. And then literally just chucks it away, just throws a pick on purpose because there's no one open. Lamar, plenty of time to throw. That one's a duck, incomplete. Intended for Zay Flowers. In like a decade, they will get a cup. Yeah. I mean, the core that they have right now, they've already traded, multiple pieces of it. A decade? I mean, this is a team that hasn't made the playoffs in 15 years. I don't think a single fan wants to hear about a decade. That was the story 15 years ago, and he bought the team. Maybe it'll take a decade, but I don't know. I guess we won't agree on the Sabres, but 2nd and 10. Now it's going to be a screen. That ball, it looked like it hit the ground. It's going to be a 9-yard gain. They got to take a look at that, though. It looked like it almost hit the ground. No one was calling for incomplete. And they showed it on the Jumbotron. Crowd reacted. Let's see. That's incomplete. They got to throw the challenge flag. Incomplete by a mile. And okay, they throw the challenge flag. Good job, McDermott. And replay assist already took care of it. I guess they're backing up. So 3rd and 10. Huge 3rd down. Huge 3rd down. 3rd and 10. They can't just run it up the middle. They got to actually move the ball downfield. Can the Bills defense make a stop? 35-45 is fine. Yep. Everyone who's 55 and 65 is saying not quite. And Victor right there. Yeah. I'm right there with you, and I'm pretty young still, and I got no faith. 3rd and 10. Bills get, no pressure. Now Lamar's shifted out of the backfield. Somehow he stays up on his feet. Oh my gosh. And he runs for the 1st down and more. And he's hit at the 45 1st down. Just ridiculous. Nobody can bring him down. They dive too early. You got him running backwards. That's one of the greatest plays I've seen in a while. Bosa and Rousseau just fall down. You got him running backwards. Contain. I mean, that's basic football 101. And now it's a 1st down. Jeez. 2 missed tackles. That is pathetic defense from the Bills. And now a run by Derrick Henry. That's gashed all the way up the sideline. No one's going to catch him. Touchdown. Somebody's throwing a bottle at Derrick Henry. Yikes. Not do that, Bills fans. Now, an extra point would make it a 16-point game, meaning you're going to have to go for 2 on your next 2 touchdowns if you can get it. Just a terror, but you had him 3rd and 10. You had Lamar running backwards, and Bosa and Rousseau just do the cardinal sin and spam X on their controller to dive and get the quarterback. I don't know what in the world they're doing. Could use an extra point, miss here. Up and off the upright and no good. There we go. I called it. 15-point game. Okay. Still 3 timeouts. If you get a quick touchdown here, you don't got to go for 2. That's a big miss. Yeah, if the Sabres could just make the playoffs once, you would win so many fans back over. And it's a sport that, again, it's a hockey town as much as it is a football town, whether people want to believe that or not. So, again, if we could just get the Sabres to the playoffs one more time, get people to want to come here, show them what the fan base is all about, could be great. The Hard Knocks curse, yeah. No, I mean, it's just a bad matchup. And you look at the Jets next week, you got to deal with Breece Hall and Allen as running backs. That's not going to be all that fun either. And Justin Fields is a good runner as well. He's no Lamar. That's the. I mean, again, if you're just gonna play bonehead defense and not stop Lamar there, you might as well let him score like they just did right away. Go down and get another touchdown and try it again. We were just here a couple minutes ago. So I'm not. Again, that's probably the best thing that could have happened there. Instead of taking 7 minutes off the clock and icing the game, now go get a touchdown in 3 or so minutes, and here we go again. Yeah, huge missed extra point, though. it keeps it a touchdown and extra point away from being a one possession game. I think if the Bills would have just kicked the extra point the last time, maybe they'd be down by 14. I know hindsight's 2020, but some really questionable coaching decisions from the Bills. And it's not a playoff game. It's not make or break, but a really bad start. And I know on the podcast tomorrow and in the videos in the upcoming weeks, I mean, the coaching is my biggest concern. And that's saying a lot where your wide receivers haven't been able to get open and your secondary has just been atrocious. But again, the coaching continues to be my number one concern with this team. 40 points. Kickoffs returned by Codrington. He could use a return there, and he runs right into a pile and gets brought down at the 28. I mean, I'd be okay if this guy just was replaced with someone else for the rest of the game. Not a big Codrington fan. $11:35. That's still plenty of time with 3 timeouts. Bills just got to get a quick touchdown. Allen going deep. That's a good play there. Keon Coleman, first down, out of bounds, too. That'll stop the clock momentarily. That's what I get. I get a little annoyed because the Bills, they've been in a couple of games like this over the last couple. It's actually going to be a 2nd and 1. They've been in a couple of games like this, and they don't really play tempo. I remember a Titans game a few years ago where they got beat up. Bills over the middle. Shakir, first down. You got to keep going now. They're going to leave the middle open. They want the clock to go. The Bills can make this very easy. Simple offense, everything underneath. Just 3 or less minutes, get a touchdown, get your extra point. Allen, plenty of time to throw again, goes towards the other sidelines, and it is picked off. Did it hit the ground is the question. They're going to say it's a pick. A Woozier. Let's see. Definitely incomplete, I think. I think it's incomplete. Okay, so replay review took care of it, incomplete. I hate to see Josh Palmer there sit there and watch that happen. He had no effort to get back to the ball. That's a bad look. I mean, that's something you do in flag football. You watch, a bad throw, and you just kind of stand there like, oh, not to me. Gave up on the play, and a heck of a play by Awuzie to dive back. But incomplete. 2nd and 10. Stops the clock. It's fine. Allen. Under center. He's getting rushed. Gets out of the pocket, and he's going to take off himself. And it's going to be a first down. He slides instead of going out of bounds. And the slide has him short of the first down. Again, that's just bonehead. 3rd and 1 now. He had the first down if he just went out of bounds. I don't know what he's doing, staying in bounds. 3rd and 1, and now they got to waste a play running up the middle to Ray Davis. He boots it outside, and he is not going to get it, but there's a flag. The flag going to be a hold, I believe, on the offense. Might have been a bad call. He might have had the first down where the slide began. Let's see. No, he was a yard short. Oh, definitely a first down. So they messed that call up. They call hold on Deion Dawkins. And that's, I don't know, a 3rd and 1, Ray Davis, like a deer in headlights after that handoff. Forced Deion Dawkins to call a hold there. He's not happy about it. Now it's 3rd and 11. It's 4-down territory. You're probably okay with the 3rd and 11 rather than a 4th and 3. 4th and 3, you got one chance at it. Now you got 2. So Terry calling out the refs on the broadcast. Allen, and he's just going to take the sack. No one can get open on this team. 4th and super long. Matabike with the sack. 4th down. They're gonna punt. I guess you got it. It's too deep. No, not Terry Pigula. Terry, the replay analyst. And Robin's kick is down at the 35. Yeah, hope the ding doesn't go in the new stadium. It probably will, but you never know. Yeah, saves. Terry Pigula is probably not too happy about that call either. Not a whole lot of time left. You got to force a fumble or something to get back in this, or a quick 3 and out. And that drive was going so well, and then Allen almost throws a pick, then makes a mental error. Even though it should have been a 1st down, he easily could have got out of bounds there and had 2 more yards. Then Ray Davis just decides to stop on a handoff and force Dawkins to bail him out on a hold. On a sack, because nobody can get open on this team. Credit to the Ravens. They played a heck of a game to this point. But it is a little bit concerning that I really haven't seen anything to be excited about. It looks like the Bills have either gotten worse or stayed the same at every position. Nobody who's been, drafted or has been an addition has been all that great. I mean, Bosa had a couple good plays, but also had a blown contain, and 2 of those actually this game. It doesn't happen too often out of Sabres. Sabres says, "Oh, you're good. I'll talk Sabres any night, any night." It's a topic that you can't be right or wrong about because they're just so inept that nobody has a solution. So I'm always down to talk Sabres. High formation, hand off to Henry. If you don't know it's coming, you're crazy. Goes out wide. It's gonna keep the clock moving. The Bills are just gonna run out of time here, even if they get the ball. It just, again, not enough urgency on the offensive side of things. And a guy like Terrell Shavers, invisible tonight, like I expected. And again, I can't believe I'm saying it, but as soon as Gabe Davis is healthy, he's got to be on this team with these receivers. Henry gets a handoff again, and finally the Bills are all over it. So 3rd down, you need a stop here. The clock still continues to move. Need to stop. Trey White has to be going nuts watching this on the sideline. Yeah, but keep in mind, even when Trey White comes back, we don't know what version of Trey White we're getting. He's not the same player he once was when he was here, from a rookie to when he left before the injuries. So even if he comes back, I don't see him significantly impacting the secondary. Oh, and there's a flag, and it's blown dead. It's going to be a false start. So I don't know why they didn't blow that dead quicker, but false start. That's good. That'll back him up a little more. And that's on Wallace, their receiver, number 16. Elijah says Bills bounce back next game. I agree that I was fully prepared to lose this game and win the next few. So I'm not too worried, but yes, sir. After the stream, check out Sabesky's NHL videos. There's a flag out wide, so that'll stop the clock. He's going to be short of the first down marker. See what the flag was. Yeah, again, oh boy, is this on the Bills, this flag? Better not be offsides. No, illegal motion on the Ravens. Okay. Zay Flowers declined. 4th down with 7:50 to go. The Ravens will have to punt. Again, the Bills still have 3 timeouts, so the miracle is still open. Dave Skis, if you make a comeback, I'll be the first one there to comment. Let me know. Codrington back for the return. Stout to the punt. The Ravens are just going to let the clock keep running. Yep, Elijah, I think that's best case scenario next week. Stout boots it away. That's going to bounce. Oh, boy. All the way to the 2-yard line. Oh, he slid in the end zone. I think it hit. Yep, touchback they call. It slid on the goal line. Wow, just barely slid on the goal line. Good call from the referee. So 7:16 to go. You need a touchdown in 2 to 3 minutes. That's what you're going to need. 32 slid into the end zone. He did, barely. Ah. Any part of his body, his glove. The ball never went in, but his glove did. Yeah, Sabeskis, if you do that in the chat, it's going to get flagged. So I wouldn't recommend it, but maybe emojis you could use to let out the anger that will allow. So start at the 20. Allen going deep towards the sideline. Keon, big catch. He takes a shot in the back. But a good catch. Now the Bills got to keep this tempo going. 15-point game. It's not over yet. Yeah, Victor, I don't know. Codrington is just mind-boggling sometimes. Again, the general rule of thumb is you don't touch it within the 5, though. Allen, almost got sacked. Didn't. He's got plenty of time. Somebody's got to be open downfield. They're not. Allen's just going to run it for about 7 yards and gets out of bounds. It'll stop the clock. Got to keep this tempo going. 6:43, and the clock continues to move. Oh, safety's in your vids? I don't know. I think you could. It might get flagged. I don't know. Yeah, a few Gabe Davis bomb catches. Be interesting to see what he can provide to the team. Allen to the middle, finds a wide open Palmer. That'll be a first down. But again, this clock continues to move. With 3 timeouts, it's not over though. and the 2-minute timeout. You just got to score within the next minute or so. Allen, and that one's batted down at the line of scrimmage. At least it stops the clock with 5:52. It'll be 2nd and 10. Now the defense can make wholesale changes. (2014). Oh boy, Mike Trico just mentioned the Sabres on the broadcast. Uh-oh. The blocking from the Bills. That one's going to be caught. Oh, did he grab the face mask? No flag, but a good catch by Coleman. He's looking for the flag. 3rd down. 4-down territory the rest of the way. Bills got to get tempo going here. Again, they continue to just take their time. 5:28. 5:26. Now, if the Bills can score a touchdown here, you absolutely have to kick the extra point. You cannot go for 2, because if you don't get it, it's over. Allen's calling out audibles here. I don't know if you have time. They're taking the entire play clock on this one. You better come up with the 1st down. And there's pass interference. Keon Coleman was interfered with. That'll stop the clock. 5:04. That's going to go against Wiggins. Good job by Coleman to draw that. Absolutely pass interference. Didn't let him get over to the ball. Spot foul auto first. .504. You just somewhere in the 4-minute range. You got to get in the end zone. It starts getting in the 3s, then you're to the point where it's just 1 first down away from them being able to kneel it. You want to get to a spot where they could, get a first down. You still have a chance, because they're probably going to get one on you at least. There's Kincaid open for the 1st down, and he's out of bounds. And now it's under 5 minutes, so the clock will stop. 1st and 10. And we're seeing it. But the Ravens, under these circumstances where they're more worried about the clock than stopping the Bills, people are getting open, right? They're leaving the middle open. They're leaving the early or short range sideline passes open. Now, when you get towards the red zone, there's no more give. This is where it's going to get tricky for this Bills offense. Allen, plenty of time. He's going to end zone. Oh, he overthrows Palmer. He's wide open and overthrew it. I knew the second it left his hands, it was going to be overthrown. That's a mistake from Allen. Oh. Oh. Dang, he was wide open in the end zone. Good route by Palmer. 2nd and 10, though. You still got 4:53. Oh, that one's going to hurt. Shavers is out wide. 2nd and 10. Allen throws it open. Oh, and Ty Johnson drops it. Oh, over the shoulder pass, dropped it in the end zone. Back-to-back brutal plays for this Bills offense. He was covered well. A running back, it's a tough catch for a running back, but hit him in the hands. That's back-to-back. Team just hasn't shown up today. Oh, you gotta catch that. 3rd and 10 now. Let's see if they go shorter. Yeah, leave a like on the screen and subscribe. Palmer, see if he can make a guy miss. Oh, and he dives. He's a yard short of the 1st down, so we're going to have a 4th and 1, 4:38. Clock's moving. Now you got a 4th and 1. You need a 1st down here, so maybe you bite the bullet and do a run play up the middle. I don't know, 4th and 2. And this keeps the clock moving, and he's back-to-back, though. On 1st and 2nd down, should have been 2 touchdowns. 1 overthrow, 1 drop. 4th and 2, it all comes down to this. If they don't get this, it's over. 4th and 2. Elijah Moore in motion. No one's open. No one's open. Allen, no one's open. Allen's got to throw it to the end zone, and it is deflected. Touchdown, Coleman! An acrobatic, bouncing ball somehow finds the hands of Coleman. When in doubt, chuck it to the end zone, right? Yeah, and Coleman gets the touchdown, and they're an extra point away from making this a one-possession game. Matt Prater, do not let me down. 9 plays, 320 is all it took to get down there. You missed my deadline of 4 minutes by 4 seconds, but I will allow it. Oof. Come on, Prater. Big extra point. If he misses this, it's over too. He needs it. Extra point, snap, hold, kick, up, and good. And we have an 8-point game. So with 3 timeouts, you still have a chance in this game, but the issue is the 2-point conversion and scoring again. It's unlikely, but it's possible. Wow. Take a look at this touchdown one more time. Allen has nobody open. Coleman was open a couple times. He ends up throwing it to Coleman. It goes off Dawson Knox's hand, which actually helps. If it goes through, I think it's underthrown to Coleman. But Dawson Knox's hand deflected the ball right to him. Wow. I was able to hold on to that. That's just, wow. That's something you would see from the Chiefs last year. Still a long ways away from tying this one up. But that's what you need to do. You got to have a little bit of luck. And could you imagine if the Bills can get a stop and have a last-minute drive, have a chance? Players running everywhere, and yeah, that was a desperation play. Again, another short yardage must-have, like the 2-point conversions, a 4th and 2, where they just don't really have a play, right? There's nothing really set, nothing's open. Kickoff's got to be caught at the 4. And you could use the turnover here. Ali gets bumped, and he's brought down at the 28. Now, field position doesn't mean too much, but of course, a field goal pretty much ends the game as well. 3 timeouts, you got the 2-minute warning. Let's see if the Ravens try to throw it on first down. It would be something I could see them do. Fake it to Henry and just get a quick first down. Oh, it's 3:50. Lamar, he's going to keep it himself. He hasn't done that in a while, and he gets the first down, and he slides down. 12-yard gain, first down. But since they scored so early, you can allow that first down. It's not the end of the world. Elijah bringing up Fredonia. What do we got here? Southwestern lost. Fredonia Orange Bowl. September 12th. That's coming up. 32 points and still losing. Yep. So this is the real set of downs right now. You knew they were going to do something crazy there on first down. Now they give it to Henry. Oh! Oh! It's all the way around. Who's got it? Who's got it? Holy moly! Derrick Henry fumble! Oh my goodness! It ain't over yet, boys. Ed Oliver, player of the game so far, forces that one out. Chunky TB, Terrell Bernard able to fall on top of it. Oh. If the Bills could go down and tie this up, the Ravens, I know a lot of you guys are going to say they're just going to go down and kick a field goal. But again, the rookie kicker, he's missed an extra point today. It's no gimme. Plenty of time, 3 timeouts. Even if you get a field goal here, you can still punt it away or kick it off, and you got 3 timeouts in the 2-minute warning. So I know you really need a touchdown to tie the game with the 2-point conversion. But if they got to kick a field goal here, you're still in the game. You just run it back. Holy moly. Allen. Going and serve! That's the rookie, Jackson Hawes, down at the 1. Whoa! Welcome to the NFL. First catch, he bobbled it a little bit, but comes down with it. They're rushing to the goal line. Both teams have 3 timeouts. Allen, they're going to try to do the snowplow. And they push him, and he goes nowhere. And he's down. The Bills got to hurry up because they need a 2-point conversion to tie this game once they get in the end zone here. So the snowplow not working today. Oh, if Paulus could have just got in the end zone there. Down at the 1. Oh. So now the Bills have a 2nd and goal from the 1. They just can't get in the end zone from these spots. Come on, Bills. You got to get in the end zone here. 2:10, right before the 2-minute warning. You'd love to get in before that. In case you don't get the 2. Cook gets pushed. And they call him down, so we're going to have the 2-minute warning. 3rd and goal from the inch-yard line, 2-minute warning. That's fine if you get the 2-point conversion, but if you don't, you're in a really bad spot. 2-minute warning. Oh. What a game we have here. If these coaches call any nonsense the rest of the game, I am going to lose my mind. These players have fought all the way back. How many bonehead plays have we seen called? Yeah, Victor, but you can't worry about that. You got to get in the end zone because you need the time if you don't get the 2-point conversion. If you fail on the 2-point conversion, you need all that time. You still got the 3 timeouts. There's no guarantee you get in. Again, a field goal is not off the table with the 3 timeouts too. Oof. All right. We're back from the 2-minute warning. 3rd and goal from the inch. What do you do? The snowplow is not working. They got Gilliam in now. They're going to try to ram it up the middle. Dawson Knox right behind too. Allen jumps. He's across the line. Touchdown. With 1:58 to go, the Bills are down by 2. They're 0 for 2 at 2-point conversions tonight. Can they get one? Do they have a play in the bag? Or are they just going to snap it and look around and look around and look around and throw it away? What are they going to do here? Here we go. Always worth the saying. Yeah, they got some play that they've practiced that's going to work for 2. We haven't seen it yet. They've had 2 chances to show us. Here's the 3rd. Shakir, peak zone. Throw it. Keon drops it. Drops the fade. Why are they trying Keon Coleman with the fade? Oh my gosh. Just pathetic. Again. 0 for 3 on 2-minute or 2-point conversions. That should never. The fade just doesn't work. Keon drops it. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Joe Brady should be fired on the spot. 0 for 3 on 2-point conversions tonight. You need a spot. You need to stop. You got 3 timeouts. Oh, that is pathetic, though. Okay. Defense, you need another stop. If you could get a stop, you got 3 timeouts, and all of a sudden a field goal wins the game. But that is just pathetic. You get all the way back into the game, and then that is your play call, a fade. It's not 2005. It's not high school football. Again, what are we doing? There's no plays you have for 2-pointers? Yeah, right in Coleman's. I mean, that's just a terrible call. I mean, maybe if they got a guy there that's just, their 5th stringer and they got injuries or something. But Nate Wiggins, that's not the guy that hit. Kickoff. Going to be returned. Oh, big hit. But he hangs onto the ball and, oh boy. 151, he goes out of bounds. Again, field position doesn't mean a thing here. You're going to have 1 set of downs. Stop him. Oh. They come all the way back in that game, and oh, that's just disgusting. Just terrible coaching throughout tonight. Couch song still playing in the background, yeah. Can the defense do anything? Let's see. Now, this is where we could see another throw on first down. Everyone expects the run. Bills send in heavy pressure. They give it to Henry. They're stopped. Timeout, timeout, timeout. Gain of 2. Okay, 145, a timeout. Ooh. The issue is you got to sell out on the Henry run, and that's going to leave someone wide open. So, again, if Harbaugh and the coaching staff of the Ravens know what they're doing, it's going to be pretty easy to ice this game. Oh, I cannot believe 3 times in a row they have no set play on the 2-point conversion. 0. Every other team has plays, right? They do the little flip to the side. You know, you scheme someone open for those. The Bills 2 times, just Allen figure it out, and the next time they do a fade route. Come on, that doesn't work. It works against, Cam Lewis and Brandon Codrington when the backups are in. Dave Flowers out wide. Oh, no. And he goes down right away. Out. Because he couldn't go out of bounds. 139. Timeout. Third and 8 or 3rd and 9. You throw the ball if you're the Ravens. The Ravens still have 3 timeouts too. Ugh. The announcers are getting ahead of themselves. The Ravens still could easily ice this. Man, what a first game. 3rd and 9. How's the defense going to let me down now? What's going to happen? I don't even want to look. Ugh. Cam Lewis is out there. I don't love that. Mars run towards the sidelines. They can't call a timeout here, though. 3rd and 9. Ugh. Dave Flowers in motion. Lamar. Bill sent a ton of pressure, and Lamar finds an open guy, but he's short. D-Hop short by 2 yards. Timeout Bills, 1:33 to go. Lamar's a little shaken up after the play. Do the Ravens go for this? I don't think you can. You can't go for this if you're the Ravens, right? They're punting it. Okay. Watch the fake. These Bills have to be aware of the fake. With 1:33, you have an eternity on the clock. No timeouts, though, if you're the Bills. But, again, the Ravens have the timeouts. They'll be calling them for it. It's not a fake. The punt is off. It bounces out at around the 18-yard line, and the Bills are a field goal away from a win. Holy moly. Oh. Legacy drive. Can he do it? And again, Matt Prater, the guy who I don't think anyone has too much confidence in. Well, the defense back-to-back, they finally figured out the end of the game. Props to them. Can the offense get this done? Holy moly. This is what the Bills like to do, though. They bring us right back to rip our hearts out of our chests. Jackson Hawes. 1st and 10. Allen under the middle. It's caught by Elijah or Shakir. 2nd down, about a 5-yard gain. Again, you're fine if you're Buffalo, no timeouts, but you're not too worried about the clock right now. You got to go tempo. Oh, man, and they're getting towards 105 now. Allen towards the sidelines. Keon keeps it in. Out of bounds at the 35 with a minute to go. That stops the clock. If they somehow win this game, we're clipping a montage of my reactions. This is going to be one of my favorite videos on the channel. If we lose this game, we'll be heartbroken. It's week 1. Allen. Oh, boy. No flags. He's got time to run it. He's just going to run it. Oh, you got to get out of bounds there, and he does. So a gain of around 3 or 4. 53 seconds. Okay. Oof. 2nd and 5, so a 5-yard gain. Oh, gee. Oh, what an intro to streaming every game. 2nd and 5. Got nothing crazy here. Oh, they got 2 seconds left. Uh-oh. I think it's going to be a false start. Yep, it is. Oh, you can't do that. Dawkins, false start. They're running out of time on the play clock, so it wasn't running. There's no runoff. Jeez. That backs them up to the 33, 2nd and 10. Jeepers. Allen, he's got time. Going deep. He's down. 40, out at the 35. Palmer. It's not field goal range yet, but it's close again. Keep in mind, Matt Prater, I have no idea what his leg's looking like. I don't know if he can hit long field goals anymore. I'm not going to get too excited yet. Hooked him. What a throw. Josh Palmer. There it is. Ooh. How about a run here? How about a run? They got Ty Johnson back there. I think they're going to keep throwing. The Ravens are showing all sorts of pressure. They just get the snap off. Heavy pressure. They throw it over the middle. It's caught by Keenan Coleman at the 20, at the 10, tripped up at the 10. Timeout by the Ravens. I think the Bills, did they call timeout? Let's see. The Ravens call timeout? I think they did. Ravens call timeout. I think the Bills can literally knee the ball twice or 3 times and kick the field goal to win this now. But Matt Prater, I'm not confident in the guy whatsoever. No offense to Matt Prater or anything he's done, but he's got to be, again, he's a guy who's done it before. He's a vet. You can't miss a short field goal like this. But at the same time, if you're the Bills, try to get in the end zone here, do you risk running it up the middle, or do you just knee it? I don't know. Oh, if they miss a game-winning field goal, I am going to throw up on stream. Last win when trailing by 15 plus in the 4th quarter, 1967 against the Jets for the Bills. If you're the Bills, you have to knee this ball 3 times. But they don't have a timeout, so I guess they can't really. It's tough without a timeout. I don't think you can try to score here. I think you have to knee it twice at least. You got plenty of time to get the field goal unit out there. Let's see what they do. And Allen knees it first time to get it to the center. There's the Baltimore 2nd timeout. So for you guys watching in the chat, Baltimore has 1 more timeout left with 35 seconds. 2nd and goal. You knee it again. They call their last timeout. Then you have to knee it a 3rd time and run the field goal unit out there. They should have plenty of time to get set, calm down, wait for that play clock to go to, I don't know, 5 seconds, and kick it. That's what you have to do. That's the blueprint. That's the easy way to win this game. The issue with Matt Prater is not been on this roster a long time. There's not a whole lot of connections with the holder, Robbins, with the line. The Ravens are going to be trying to jump the thing. Holy smokes. Victor did call it. Sorry, I'm not looking at the chat, guys. I'm sorry. I know I'm ahead of most of you guys with the antenna. I got the new setup, but I don't want any spoilers just in case. 2nd and goal. And Harbaugh calls the last time out there. What you could have done if you were the Ravens is you could have waited to call that timeout till the field goal unit got out there, tried to ice them. I don't think you got to worry about getting them out there quickly. But it's 4th and goal on this field goal. You cannot have a mistake. You can't have too many men with the clock running. That's a 10-second run up. A whole lot of things going through the head of Sean McDermott right now and the special teams unit. But you have plenty of time. There's 33 seconds, 3rd and goal. I just don't have a good feeling about this. Matt Prater, it's his first game here. He's anxious. If he makes this, he's the Buffalo hero. I will forever love Matt Prater. I might even go on and get me a Broncos Matt Prater jersey. 3rd and goal. Allen knees it to the left hash, and here we go. 30 seconds. The field goal unit's got to get out there. You have to take this all the way down to no time left. You can't give the Ravens any time. Oh, my gosh. 20 seconds. 9 seconds, 8 seconds, 7, 32-yard field goal. Matt Prater. Snap, hold, kick, and score! Win it! Holy moly! Baltimore 0-1. Matt Prater. Holy moly. Shout out Lamar. What a game from him. Shout out this Baltimore team. It's always a great time. But heck of a job from these Bills players. Overcoming blunder after blunder, bad call after bad call. And I don't mean from the refs, I mean from the coaches. The refs did okay this game. Holy moly, what a game. Holy moly, what a game. Holy moly, what a game. Jaden, clip this as the post game. I'll just talk for a little bit. We can post this as a video. What a freaking game. Allen's hyped up. I mean, we just witnessed the greatest Bills win in the last, I don't know how long. What a game. I'm shaking. I don't know what to say. 41-40. 41-40. Matt Prater didn't think he would be kicking a football this season. Comes out here, drills the game winner with the running clock. I know it wasn't that long. What a game to go to. Hopefully, if you're there at the game, if you went to this game, hopefully you didn't leave, because that is one of the greatest games I have ever witnessed. Grateful to be on the call. Thank you guys for being in here. Holy moly. I don't even know what to say. You get the fumble from Derrick Henry. Then the defense comes up clutch again with another stop. The Ravens don't go for the throat. They go for the runs. They go for the small plays. They trust their defense, and the Bills offense picks them apart. These Bills receivers came up big at the end of the game. Josh Allen comes up big, as he always does. The Bills run game, little bit of concern there. We're not going to talk about that, though. Wins solve everything. Am I worried about this team? 100%. But what a freaking win. What did we just watch? What did we just watch? Oh, my God. What? I mean, what are you saying if you're a Ravens fan? What? Ladies and gentlemen, that's a week 1 game, and that had playoff atmosphere. What a freaking win. I mean, that's huge for seeding at the end of the year. Again, you got Frico and Collinsworth talking, this is big. AFC teams are looking at the Ravens saying this is your clear number 1 this year. Well, they're 0-1 right now, and the Bills have the tiebreaker over them. So, what a game. I don't know. All right, Donald, let's do this podcast. Jaden, clip that and post that immediately if you're listening. Get that video up. We're going to record the podcast now. The podcast is not going to be live because there might be some expletives said that we're going to have to edit out. Holy moly. Sawyer, what's going on? I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. I get holy moly. I mean, what do we even do? I don't know. All right, this stream's gonna end. Jaden's gonna clip the end of that, and make it a video. When this ends, it ends, and then I'm gonna record the podcast. Be sure to watch that video tomorrow, guys. Um, I don't know what to say. Thank you guys for joining tonight. Incredible game. Shout out Ravens fans too. You guys were the best. Shout out everyone in the chat. Victor, Sawyer, Truth, Saves